Hello and welcome to the ChapterSkip podcast, volume 8, possibly, depending how well we've been counting. As usual, all the guys are here. I'm Mark.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm Chad.
And we've got a special guest with us this week, which is my wife, Amy.
Hey!
Hello.
You need to be a lot louder.
Okay.
And if anything goes wrong here in the ChapterSkip podcast and Mark and Amy do sort of go missing for a little while, it is because there's, Mark's mentioned it before, there's a little sprog on the way, so we could have a very first here on the ChapterSkip podcast, a live baby delivered via the medium of podcasting. But we're going to try and...
Via the medium of
Via the medium of podcasting.
By the power of Grayskull.
It's, yeah. Everyone doing alright? Everyone do their homework?
Yes.
I did, yes.
Yeah,
I only
good.
did it a couple of hours ago, so it's like when I
I
was
don't
at
think
school.
I had no
I
homework.
did it first
Last
thing in the
minute.
morning.
For those of you who listen to volume 7, you'll remember we each set each other homework. We weren't sure if Joe was going to be here. He's made it, thankfully. Your homework is to regale us with your tales of gigging in Europe.
In Belgium.
That's what you can do. Mark, you were tasked with watching an episode of the BBC Sherlock TV
was
show.
indeed.
And Chad, Father's Day?
Yes.
And I had to check out the Coen Brothers movie Argo. Who wants to go first?
Or Fargo.
Fargo, yes. I got them mixed up every time.
Argo. Got the wrong film
I
already.
even googled it to do some research and put in Argo. I was like, Bryan Cranston wasn't in this movie. Ben Affleck didn't direct it. I didn't see John Goodman in it. Well, I guess as I've made a serious blunder, I'll start. Chad, you actually said that I should watch Fargo.
I did, yes.
Because last week you mentioned the TV show that's just come on Channel 4 here in the UK. I think it's Fox in America.
Oh, right, okay.
They're currently on episode 3, and I went above and beyond my homework. I watched the movie, and I watched 2 episodes of the TV show.
There's only 2 episodes out, I think.
No, they've released the third one. I watched about 20 minutes of it and
what?
then got caught up in doing other things.
Oh, okay.
So my impressions of the movie were a bit kind of, it was alright. It wasn't anything out of this world. Wasn't anything disastrous. I really enjoyed Steve Buscemi, as always. He's always great in every movie he's in.
See, I thought you were going to have higher praise considering you was like, then I went to watch the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, oh, I was hooked on it, kind of.
Well, no, I just thought, well, I had the time. Normally I don't have the time. It's kind of like I had a free sort of spare hour. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll watch the movie. And I was like, okay, I'll go above and beyond. Be a good boy, you know. Some of you guys forget to do your homework. I like to go above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Some of us just need to build up to our homework.
So would you say, Sean, you enjoyed the TV series more, or...?
Well, that's what I was going to get to. I was going to give like a sort of a mini review of the movie and then move on to the TV show. The movie I liked, had a good bit of dialogue in it. Like you said, Mark, it is a bit of a black comedy without black people.
It's a white-black comedy.
Yeah. I enjoyed Steve Buscemi's character. I even more enjoyed Peter Stormare's character. I didn't realise he was in it, and I've not really seen much of him before, apart from in Bad Milo, where he turned up as the therapist. And I was a bit like, I wonder if he's like more of a comedy actor, more of a serious actor.
He's in Big Lebowski as well, isn't he?
Yeah, one of the...
Oh, is he one of the
German-
nihilists? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought he was great in this movie, and the lead character, who I can't remember his name, but
William
is-
H. Macy.
I think
He's really good at it. I thought he was good.
He was good as the kind of sort of the fumbling sort of salesman, and I thought that carried on quite well into the TV show. So the movie got kind of a bit of a meh. It was all right, nothing special, but nothing disastrous.
No.
I enjoyed a few of the scenes. It was quite funny, but I especially liked how it transposed into the TV show, where you have Martin Freeman as like the main character. But it's almost like, it felt like a remake to me, but not in a remake kind of way. It's almost like, we're going to do a TV show based on the movie, but have it very, very closely sort of based around the movie, if you get me. It's kind of hard to explain because it doesn't directly copy the movie, but there are references to the movie in certain aspects, and I almost thought there were certain things that was going to go in and almost more reference to the movie, if that makes any sense.
Do you think you wouldn't have got the same out of the series then if you hadn't have seen the film?
I don't know really. No, I think they could both stand alone by themselves easily.
So I felt that I probably got more out of the episodes that I've seen because it's like, oh yeah, I remember that from
Yeah.
from the
I
movie.
haven't seen the film, yeah.
Yeah. It's very strange hearing Martin Freeman do an American Minnesota accent.
I said it's quite jarring at first, isn't it?
Yeah, when he's pretty much the first thing that pops up, apart from the sort of almost the opening credit sequence where these scenes happened in Minnesota in 2006. You know, the stories are true, but the names have been changed to pay respect to the dead people. I thought that was quite cool. That paid reference to the movie. I thought that was really clever. And then Martin Freeman starts talking. You're like, huh? You sound weird, and you're going, yeah, this is good bit of brisket, eh? Yeah, almost like that weird sort of Canadian American accent. Yeah.
I thought it was German.
Yeah. My name is Martin Freeman, yeah. Scheiben, would you like to buy some life insurance, yeah?
He sounds like the bloke out of Frozen. Hello, family, come into the sauna. Woohoo!
Cliche German in Frozen, isn't it?
Is he Austrian or something, isn't
Yeah, I
he?
think so.
So, for those of you out there who have seen the movie, definitely check out the TV show. I don't know how many episodes they're going to do. I didn't kind of look into it that far.
10.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of progressing along. I thought the first episode of the TV show was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it set up the whole series really well. The second episode was a bit like, it's a second episode in a season kind of show. It was like, we're going to kind of make the plot go along, we're going to introduce a few more things, but we're not really going to expand on the main plot. We're going to more develop sort of a sub-story, which seems interesting to me. But I quite like the main story about, like, based on Martin Freeman's character of Lester.
Yeah, I felt like the second episode, as good as it was, obviously it just lost a little bit of impact.
Yeah.
So that first episode, you're like, whoa, this is really good.
Mate, Billy Bob Thornton's character
Yeah.
is so good. He, like, when he first came on, I was like, this guy is weird, and I was a bit like, is he based on Peter Stormare's character in the movie? He's based on Steve Buscemi, but he's a whole sort of character within himself, and I was a bit like, this guy could be very interesting, and I just want to see where his character's taken along these, you know, if it's 10 episodes or 6 episodes, how many long
I think
it is.
he's a good actor anyway, I do. I think he's quite a good actor.
I can't say I've seen him in I probably have, but not really noticed.
Armageddon.
Bad Santa?
Is that a good actor in a bad film?
He's in Bad Santa, wasn't he? Well, that's good
I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely awesome in the Fargo TV series. So yeah, that's kind of to round up my review. Movie, TV series, got a lot riding for it.
Yeah, awesome.
It's another film Peter Stormare was in Armageddon as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's Steve Buscemi.
Was he in that?
Oh.
Yeah, he plays the Russian cosmonaut.
Oh yeah, Disaster for Space Station. yeah.
Best bit about that movie.
Yeah, the best character in the whole film. I'll jump in next then, because you've gone from a TV series, so I'll go to a TV series, as I was tasked with watching Benedict Cumberbatch's take on Sherlock.
And Martin Freeman. There's the
And
link.
Martin Freeman
There's
again.
the link.
Two
There's the
segues
link.
in one
Yeah.
thing. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I wasn't sure how a modern version of Sherlock was going to work, but I think they kind of rushed certain elements to show, like, how Holmes deduced things and how his brain was like, yeah, I can see this about you and I've deduced this and all that was clever, but I think they concentrated too much on that and they overlooked quite a lot of things, like the murderer is basically giving people pills so that they commit suicide.
Yes.
But the thing was, you see in the flashback, he's given someone a pot of pills that's got 2 or 3 pills in it.
Right.
But when it comes to him talking to Holmes, they've got 1 in each.
Right.
And you're kind of like, oh, you've suddenly changed your method halfway through. It was a bit like, oh, it didn't quite link in.
Yeah, I got to admit, I did watch the first episode of season 1 quite a long while ago, so it's all sort of coming back to me. And spoilers, but it's the taxi driver, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought that episode was really good. And Chud, you made mention to it last week of their coming together, Holmes and Watson. You made it sound like, I made it sound like it was a homosexual couple meeting for the first time and shacking up. But I really liked their sort of origin story. It was new.
Good.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop me from watching more of the series. It was just like the writing needed to be tighter, and especially even that bit. I had like a weird flashback when he was like, you know, one of these pills is good, one is bad, and I'm like, fucking hell, it's Morpheus. Holmes is going to go into the Matrix in a minute. It was a bit weird, and there was odd bits. But like, obviously, the whole thing, they needed reasons why people got in a taxi. And there's a bit at the start where it was showing someone's took a pill and killed themselves.
Yeah.
And then it had 2 guys outside in the rain. And the one guy shouts for a cab, but ignores him. And he's like, I'm going to go home and get my umbrella. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And then, bizarrely, he gets a cab. If you're only 2 minutes from your home, why would you get in a taxi?
But I think that's London, isn't it? I think it's the
2
same
minutes.
as New York. People don't drive anywhere.
Maybe he
because
meant 2 minutes in a taxi.
Yeah.
But he said it as he ran off on foot. Like, I mean, I'll only be 2 minutes, and it didn't say a couple. It was distinctly 2 minutes. It was a bit like, and then Holmes didn't solve the murder by deducing anything. The bloke just turned up and announced himself to him.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit.
You know, it defeats the object.
Yeah.
But
it was good,
yeah.
and they had a good chemistry between them.
Yeah, I really like Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
as Sherlock. I thought he was really sort of.
Well, Martin Freeman was good as well.
Yeah, Freeman's good. Yeah, definitely.
It was good, and I would watch more if I can get round to it. It's
They're
just,
quite long, aren't they? It's not as if you can just
Yeah, the
pop it
mini-movies.
on for half an hour, 20 minutes. It's like you have to invest an hour and a half.
but the thing was, after I've been watching things like Spartacus and Banshee
Yeah.
and things of that nature, it felt very safe.
Yeah, very tame.
safe.
Yeah.
When I've been watching shows that have had a lot more adult stuff going on. But yeah, it was alright. Quite enjoyed it, and I will at some point go and watch the rest of the series.
Yeah, I thought it was a new take on Holmes, and I can't remember how much sort of technology plays into it, but it's obviously a lot of sort of texting. What did you sort of realise or notice the sort of the slick editing and the transitions
There
and
was
stuff
some
like
very
that?
there was some
that's what I really
kind
liked
of,
about it.
That's
yeah.
what kind of hooked me as well, because you'd mentioned it
Yeah.
in the previous podcast. So I was kind of like, yeah. That
Did you
is
think it
actually
was very
good.
sort of Edgar Wright-esque in the sort of like transition? Like somebody walks by a camera, it's a new scene, or it zooms into a laptop and goes out and it's a new scene, or something like
I
that?
don't know. It wasn't.
No.
I don't know. It didn't really remind me. Of
Well-
odd little moments maybe, like the press conference, and everyone's phone kept ringing, and it kept
Yeah.
put up the little boxes saying like
Yeah.
no, wrong or whatever it was, and no, it's quite clever, and I would
I think it's probably because I've seen all of the episodes and I'm more of I'll watch movies for the editing and I'll watch the transitions and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. You're probably like more focused on plot, like you pick up on the pills and whatnot. Whereas I'm just like, oh, that was cool the way he walked by the camera and it went into a new scene.
But that's why you need to watch Banshee, because there's was that the scene where the female cop's fighting against her ex-husband whilst the sheriff's having a fight with someone else, and there's certain things that happen in the fight that they both kind of do, and it edits so well seamlessly
Really well.
between the
Sounds
fights.
really good.
So someone to get picked up and smashed into a table, and at the same time it would cut to the other fight where almost the same sort of things happening.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
And there's one bit, it was such a good camera shot, where the girl was shooting at the target on the shooting range, the camera goes behind the target, and you see it getting ripped open, and then one opens in the middle, and you can see the woman right down the far end of the range, and it was like, damn, that's a really good camera shot.
Yeah.
Really clever. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, the Sherlock was good, but tighter writing needed on that first one,
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch the rest.
Excellent. Chelly?
Well, I'm going to be honest.
Now, for those of you guys that didn't check out Volume 7 of the ChapterSkip podcast, Mark made this awesome transition from talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, something about aunties being...
We somehow digressed our conversations.
And
as
you
we
were
do.
talking about aunties being raped or something like that, and then...
Possibly, I don't know why.
It was kind of...
Sounds about right.
You have to go back and
Sounds
listen
about
to it,
right.
because when I was editing the thing, I listened to that whole section, I was just like, what are we talking about? And then you say, like, you probably say 4 words, you're like, speaking of Easter, and we've just been talking about, like, incest and stuff like that, we all burst out laughing,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, speaking of Easter, I got a present, then we all burst out laughing even harder, and you're like, speaking of Easter, I got a present, something, and we just all just died, and it was really,
I think
really
it's because
funny.
I started with talking about raping family members.
That's the
And
one.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
The best segue in a podcast I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
But anyway, Chad, you were tasked with watching Father's Day.
Yeah, well, it brought back warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feelings for me, I'm going to be honest.
In what
Well,
way?
I don't want to go there and
Because
answer
of
this
the
one.
horrific films you used to make me watch at work.
This is from the guy that brought in the Jackhammer Massacre.
Yes.
That's
A
amazing.
film set in one room.
Just
In a
move
warehouse.
boxes around.
Yeah.
Made with some boxes.
Yeah, with the boxes round.
Yeah, like I said earlier, when I first put it on, I was eating at the time, and that first 20 seconds, I had to pause it and finish eating, so I thought, I know what sort of film this is going to be.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What were you eating, by the way?
Tuna pasta thing.
Oh, wasn't anything like phallic or anything like
It's a phallic.
that? A big Subway footlong. You had it in your mouth. Going, oh, I can't want to.
Oh, well.
And the film felt a little bit schizophrenic in its the way that it'd go from awesome like gore shots and it looked really really good to then some quite almost looking cheap looking acting and things like that.
I think that was meant to be the whole film in a way.
I'm sure I looked it up
Yeah.
earlier, and I'm sure the
Sort
budget
of-
was like $10,000.
Yeah, it was supposed to.
I
look
think
like
they
that,
spent
I
most of that on the
the
gore
gore.
effects because they were really really
It's
really
a
good.
crazy film.
We did get to see someone slice his bed end with a knife.
Yeah.
Ouchie.
You guys didn't even warn me of that. I was like, oh.
I actually watched it again last week as well because, as I mentioned to you
Can't
guys,
get enough of that stuff, can you? Love a bit of that bell end slice, isn't
Bell end slice.
it? You think about that every time you cut your bread and whatnot, don't you? You make a sandwich, you're like, oh,
bell end sandwich.
Father's Day was such a good movie.
When you cut your carrots.
Top them.
As for the plot, the story, it didn't really grab me from the beginning. I wasn't really following it too well. But the last 20 minutes, probably my favourite 20 minutes of that film.
Yeah.
That was just amazing.
Yeah, and what about Lloyd Kaufman's cameos?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say too much
wow.
without giving like the plot away for anyone who wants to watch it.
We do spoilers on
enjoyed
here,
it.
we're allowed. As long as there's nothing too new, I think spoilers are go, aren't they?
Yeah.
How old is the film? How old was it?
Not.
Because the kind of
I could just go and pick up the DVD, but I've got it's on the shelf
trailer
behind
type
Joe's.
thing that
Joe's
come
in the
up
way,
before it made me think it's going to be kind of like
Well,
that
you know-
sort of grindhouse type thing.
You know, it cuts to that Astron 6
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They've done another film called Manborg, I think, which is done as like a cheap 80s sci-fi thing. It's only like an hour or so, but I've not got around to watching it yet, but it's one of those things that just looked really good. That's right, because I forgot it starts like a TV channel, and then
thing,
it's
they
like,
got
yeah,
another
later on
couple
today
movies.
is...
No, I wasn't sure when I was watching. I thought, how old is this film? So I thought that
2011.
was genuine, but then
There
I
you
kind
go.
of picked up, oh, this is probably like a
So,
fake sort
3
of
years.
grindhouse trailer.
Oh, is this? I'm just looking it up on IMDb.
Is it
There.
2011?
IMDb now. It's only just come out in Japan of January this year.
Wow.
Weirdly enough. Yeah, 2011. It premiered at 2011 of October 2011 at Toronto After Dark Film Festival.
Overall, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was up my street, really. I mean,
Yeah.
the
What you
crappy
get
acting
from
and
trying
lots
to-
of
I
gore.
really liked it. I've got to watch it again because it was a while when I watched
There's
it.
loads
a
of-
while back when I watched
It's kind
I
of
watched
played
it.
really straight, and there's lots of lines in there that are really funny, but because they're played so straight and they're not playing them in a jokey style,
Yeah.
it's so easy to overlook all the humour that's sort of hidden
Like,
in there, I
what's
think.
happening here? Yeah, that sort of thing.
Any standout moments in the movie apart from a bit of bell end slicing?
I'd say
If you were to sell it to me and you could give your top 3 scenes in the movie.
how they killed the demon at the end, whatever. Oh, what the fuck it was, that thing that, in the chair.
Fuckman.
Yeah, that stood out on and the bell end scene because how horrific it was. Just absolutely awful. You guys could have given me a heads up. You bastards.
That's painful. That's painful for us.
Yeah,
You
watch
gotta
this,
expect
John.
that. Anytime Mark lends you a DVD, you gotta expect bell end. Expect
Watch this,
bell end
by the way, look
cutting.
out for the bell end.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like there's one in the case that's going to pop out. I left it in there.
Oh, it got me in the eye!
That's the special edition version.
I did,
Now with bouncing bell end.
quite like the scene where what's the main character's name? Can't remember. Oh, I watched it if you ask. I
the
should.
priest, the Ahab.
Ahab, yeah,
Sorry.
he's chasing the guy across.
Is this
like,
across the
down-
aqueduct thing?
He
Yeah.
shoots him like through the arse or something, and then smashes his face in with a brick. And it's not like shying away from
No.
it; it's like full on.
And then he throws him off the top of the aqueduct.
Yeah.
You're like, you got him, and then he's.
And then he's like, "Let's go finish him off."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
But it does that weird thing with the cut, and it just like ignore the fact that they've got to the top of the aqueduct
Yeah.
within 3. He's like looked up and gone, oh, there he is, and the next thing you know, he's right behind him, running after him, and it's just one of those like, yeah, it's meant to be like that cheesy throwback to the 80s. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it.
Excellent. We'll find someone else for you next time, won't we?
Yeah, less penis mutilation.
Damn.
Talking about penis mutilation, nah, not really.
I
I thought you were going to have an awesome story
That's
from
what I've
Belgium.
been- I've been doing while I'm out there in Belgium. No, well, I went away to Belgium on tour and played some gigs. Just come back today, so I'm absolutely shattered. But,
All you do is play drums. Come on, Joe.
No, but it's just,
Jeez.
you know,
Sitting
it's
down.
so
You
tiring.
get to sit down, you just hit some
Just
drums.
travel everywhere and load the van back up. And,
You don't load the
Yeah, but you're not walking, are you?
At least you're not the double bassist. Well, Jen has to carry around a massive double bass. You've got a little snare drum and a cymbal
Someone else
on there.
packs your drums away for you, and you just have to maintain.
I have to
the
do
note.
all that.
You have
I
to.
have to pack all the drums away and load them in.
You just have to make sure you know where your drumsticks are at all times.
Yeah.
On a little
That's what
drumstick
really
bandolier.
happens, yeah. I'll get a little monkey trained, he does it for me.
Phonics,
But he's been drinking while we was there. He's like, you do it yourself. But so played a few shows in Belgium. It was amazing. Went out there on Thursday. Played a show as soon as we got there. Played at
the
a place.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the
played,
airport.
played at a place called the Baker's Loft. It was pretty crazy. The sound wasn't too good because it was such a big room. So the sound wasn't great when we was on stage, and we was just so tired. I don't know, because we was up really early Thursday morning. Stayed in, it looked like a prison cell, like cell block H, it really did, like where we stayed for the night, but with Flintstone showers in the middle, like proper bedrock, you know, like the bedrock. Like
We had an elephant trunk.
Yeah, elephant trunk and a pelican.
Shit in a pelican's mouth.
you know, like the houses and that, like where they're like bedrock and they're like
Oh,
rocks
right,
and that was the showers. That's what their cubicles were,
right,
just
okay.
like that. It was crazy.
Different.
But in the middle of this like prison, it was crazy. But it was a bed for the night, you know.
Bedrock for the night.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't get the image of Joe taking a dump in
What's the little quip that the pelican always does when he's having like cement mixed in his mouth? It's like, it always sort of goes, "Ah, it's a hard life," or something like that. It just makes like a quip. I just imagine like Joe just going, "Ah,"
And he's like,
and
"Oh
then the pelican
no!"
just going, "Fuck
like-
my life."
He's like, "Oh no, you done no shit to me."
Where's he from?
I don't know,
French pelican in Belgium.
French German.
French German pelican in
Australia.
Belgium that you shit in his mouth. Brilliant.
So yeah, that was the first gig. Second gig went to a friend's house. Well, basically in the back garden. They
We'd
built
just
a
like to point
saloon.
out as well, we don't endorse shitting in the mouth of a pelican. But if you want to, go for it.
Do film it and upload it onto YouTube.
Go ahead,
It'd be
kiddies.
impressive if you could.
So yeah, the second night went.
Hashtag ChapterSkip, hashtag shit in a pelican's mouth.
You'd have to get a friend to hold it, wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure it wouldn't stay still.
It's got to be a two-man operation.
It's Sean holding it by the throat.
Leave your mouth open. Ah! Come on, Judd, quick. It's got a powerful jaw on him.
Second night.
Ready for the sound this evening?
Went to this. Went to these people's house, and there was a saloon bar, and played there. Like they built a saloon bar in the backyard. It was crazy, like in the bottom of the garden. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. Like a proper like Western saloon
Oh,
bar.
did they have saloon doors?
No,
It's not a proper saloon bar.
They had like a
German bar fights.
Did you walk in and it all went quiet and everyone looked at you?
It was all fighting and stuff. Threw me a drink, slid me a drink across the bar.
Along the
There
bar.
you go, you filthy animal. Oh, don't drink beer, sorry.
Get out.
You're in Belgium, you must drink beer. So yeah, played that gig, that was really, really cool. But the best gig, well, we went to a place called Liège. And it's sort of like the French-speaking side of Belgium. That's all they speak there is French, really. And played there and thought, all right, this is quite a rough town. It's going to be a bit, I don't know how this is going to go. There weren't a lot of people there when we got there. Like a country bar in the middle of all these clubs surrounding it and all these little tight alleyway streets and stuff. But it was absolutely crazy. It went off and people were absolutely loving it. They were. We got pole dancing, which was mental. It was like being in a Motley Crue video or something. It was just like so weird. And then this cameraman with a massive light, and I was like, is he taking pictures or is he filming me? And it's just that for ages.
So you just stopped playing drums and posed there for a
were
second.
pole dancing.
No, there was pole dancers while we were playing.
Oh, I thought you said then we went pole dancing.
Played a gig, went pole dance.
Next up, give a warm hand for Joe.
No, on the pole.
Yeah.
Woo! I made some money that night.
No, he would have done it to the ChapterSkip theme tune.
Own drum.
Ah, put it away.
Oh, hit me in the eye.
Well, that's what you're hitting the drums with.
There you go, swinging it around.
Somebody get the bread knife.
Yeah, played that show, absolutely brilliant. And then on Sunday, yesterday, we, because it's like Monday today, obviously, Bank Holiday Monday.
Monday comes after Sunday.
Sunday, went to our friends who we stayed with for the night and played again. It was like this like little restaurant bar and lots of old people eating their like Sunday dinners quiet and that. Played with
And then
a
you lot turned
classical,
up then.
played with a classical band, like really like shit hot on their instruments, like reading from a proper like music sheet.
Oh, really?
Like, proper stuff. And we're like, "Gee."
What instruments were they playing?
Like, no, they're playing like acoustic guitars, but like classical guitars, yeah. So that sort of
right.
stuff. And we're like, whoa, this is
I've got
crazy.
pictures of like a mariachi band now or something.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It was
Just
like,
think of an
this is
orchestra.
This,
just
is
going,
You go to
thought this,
Waynesville.
thought this was
Sorry,
going to be
Bill and Ted.
absolutely mental, But and then after that, there was the owner, his brother, and his wife. They got up and done some pop songs like some David Bowie and stuff like that. To begin, quite tame and stuff. And then we thought, oh god, this is going to be terrible, and they're not going to like us because it was all nice and quiet, chilled while people were eating the meals and that. And then we come out a bit
And then
later,
dessert.
dun, 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 and all that, like, and they were loving it. They go, yeah. We had a few of the friends here who've seen us before and that, and it was mental. And there was this guy. He's like, when they come in, he goes, they look so rough. But they're the most sweetest guys ever, because we're like just like talking, like you got Jen who's like massive, just talking to him, and he's with his big beard and his long hair and that, and he's just like, yeah, and they're just like, and they loved it, and they could not do enough for us, you know.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
Did the grannies get up and start pole dancing after eating their bloody semolina pudding or whatever?
I don't know what they had.
What do old people
The
eat?
national dish of Belgian pensioners.
I don't know what Belgian pensioners eat.
It's stereotyped
Hey,
a little bit. I think.
Put it on ready now.
They like rice, don't
Put
they?
your claws back on, love.
Rice pudding.
They're in a restaurant. We're going to pole dance around a baguette.
Rice pudding.
Several baguettes.
That's going to get crumbs in some very uncomfortable places.
Or
Restaurant.
know
What
that
you got
feeling.
crumbs everywhere. Put your tits away, Mabel. Sit down.
They're hanging on the floor. You're tripping over them.
You're dipping them in someone's soup, for God's sake.
They're sitting in someone's soup.
He didn't want any milk in his coffee.
Waiter, I've got a tit in my soup. Have you?
Oh, let me change that right away.
Jesus.
My tits are a bit warm. Yeah, they're in the soup. But yeah, played that. Come
Ah,
back.
bon appetit.
That's it.
When you pay for your meal, did you leave a tit? Oh, really shit.
no.
Didn't pay for a meal, got them free. So
That's as bad as my unused pun from my Fist of Jesus thing. I was going to say about if it came out, and because there's all in the short movie thing, they're throwing fish everywhere. And I was going to make a comment about if it was in France, it'd be Poisson of the Christ.
Different passion.
Yeah.
was a bit silly. Had some strong beer at the end just to relax with after the gig.
To relax with?
They had a bell. They had a bell near the bar, so I rang it. What does that mean in England? What does that mean in England?
Last order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leave
What's
the
it mean
fucking
out
bell
there?
alone,
What's it mean
probably.
out there?
Let's get trashed. I don't know.
It means you buy everybody a drink. But lucky enough, it was only us in there. Oh, God. He's like, you should not do that.
But you rang the bell.
Yeah. Like messing about.
You were just like everyone out last
Yeah, no,
orders.
no, what it
Get
was-
the fuck out of my pub.
It was when we was leaving, so I was
Old
like,
woman,
come
pick
on.
your tits up and piss off.
When we was leaving, I was like, come on, we gotta go. He's like, man, and he was like, oh, you don't do that. I was like, oh no, trust me. But yeah, come back today, absolutely shattered, but amazing journey. Yeah, good fun.
Excellent
Fun.
stuff. Cool. Quick plug for your band for anyone out there who wants a bit of hell-raising, country, rocking,
Country
punkin'.
punk, yeah,
Rattle Shack, isn't it?
yeah, Rattle Shack, yeah. Check them out, Facebook, please. Thank you.
And
They're very polite.
well, yeah.
Thank
Please,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Vil, as they say out there.
And yeah, if you guys can't find them on Facebook, I shall leave a link in the description if I remember. So you have to remind me,
yeah,
Joe.
thank you.
Quick shout out to Rattle Shack there.
Right, what we got for
Well,
this week then, guys?
Before we kick in proper, I want to reference something from last week. Chud was talking about Noah
Yeah.
and how there were rock monsters
Yeah.
building the ark. Weirdly enough, after that podcast, I went to work and I was flicking through a book, and it was something. It was an old
Bible?
book, almost. Well, it said something about popular quotes and sayings, but it was an old book, so it's not that popular. I wanted a quote. They had lines out of Genesis in there, not the band, the Bible thing.
Just to have an invisible touch. I don't remember this.
So spake God.
That sounds like a Phil Collins song.
Genesis.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
I thought he was joking.
Jack's still on Belgian time.
I'm tired and I don't think half of that went in my head. So
Anyway.
more about yeah.
We'll skip over that. Anyway, one of the quotes I had in there from Genesis was, I've written it down, there were giants in the earth in those days. So the rock monsters, technically, they could get away with it and say, no, it was in the Bible. So I'm going to give you a segue here, Sean. So it's conceivable that there were giant titans in the Bible.
Oh, Titans. I watched a TV show called Attack on Titan. Oh, seamless segue. Recently, during the week, grumbling over there, Amy. These aren't very good segues, are they?
This was a pre-planned one as well.
Yeah.
It would have been fucking awesome.
Should have been, but I had to ruin it by acknowledging it. That's what the best people in podcasting do. When they do a good segue, they don't just carry on like nothing happened. They make note of it and say, that was a good segue. Anyway, segues aside, Attack on Titan.
Yes.
I recently had a spare few hours in the evening after getting home from work. I'd finished watching Face Off, the makeup TV
we
show.
saw the final as well.
Yeah, I watched that, and then I was a bit like, I've got nothing else to watch. What shall I do? And I was flicking through Netflix, and I remember catching, I think it was probably the first 6 episodes when you recommended it to me.
Yeah.
You sold it to me, you said it's an anime, and I was a bit like, I don't really do anime, it's a bit too much reading for me, and I don't really kind of understand it. He was like,
It's not a book.
he was like, yeah, he was like, well, it's subtitles. Yeah. You can look at the pretty colours if you want, and yeah, you basically said it's awesome. It's about like these giant Titan people that want to destroy the city, and then these kind
It's
of
basically like an alternate Earth, if you like.
Yeah.
Humanity's now walled themselves off in these cities, when outside everything is giant Titans that only seem to survive on eating people.
Yeah.
And they can go 100 years without eating anyone. It doesn't seem to affect them in any way, shape or form.
And the best thing about these Titans is that they're not just normal looking giant people. They're not like you or I times 100.
No.
They're like these weird, twisted kind of. Oh, they just look freaky.
No
don't they?
genitals and freaky rape
Yeah, they
faces.
look like a giant, like sort of like Barbie or Ken doll, where they don't have any genitals like
Oh.
that, but their faces are all like messed up. They got these huge sort of like almost like paedophilic smiles on
They've
their
got, they always
face.
got that weird rapey grin. Like,
Yeah,
weird,
it's
yeah.
like, I'm gonna eat you up, you know.
The movements on them is kind of
Yeah, it's
odd,
very.
and-
Yeah, it's almost like if you took like a toddler, right, and then like
Yeah,
smashed
yeah.
his face up so he was always smiling, took away his genitals, and then told him to like run across the room in like a weird like sort of swinging his arms away and sort of almost half falling over. These like giant monsters are just so freaky. And yeah, I recently finished Attack on Titan season 1, I think it is. Are they doing a second season? Because
they will, 'cause
they
there's a lot
definitely
of
need
unanswered.
to. Yeah.
There's a whole thing of going back to his house.
Yes,
to
yeah,
find
that was
whatever his
announced.
dad.
Yeah.
They still haven't found his dad yet, which is a
Yeah.
common thing in anime. Someone's always looking for a parent figure.
Well, a good way to make a superhero is to kill the parents. You know, that's the best way.
Well, this one we don't. Well, yeah, we don't know what happened to his dad, but
Yeah.
there was some experiments or research into the Titans, which is at their house, which was destroyed when one of the walls collapsed and the Titans broke into the city.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing you enjoyed it then.
I really, really enjoyed it actually. For like, I don't watch a lot of anime, so I don't know if they're all like this. You can probably recommend me some good anime to
yeah,
watch.
yeah.
I'll start getting into it. But they tell stories in a really, really good way. They're little 20-minute episodes, and like TV shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that, they always leave it on a cliffhanger. So you know, you're not sitting there for an hour and then the cliffhanger happens, you're like, oh my god, these like little 20 minutes ones, and I don't see how they can build up to a cliffhanger in 20 minutes, but they seem to do it so well. And you always just want to watch that next episode. And luckily, on Netflix, like you mentioned last week, Chud, you only have to wait like 15 seconds in between each episode. So I was just
And
like
then now-
clicking through them.
I think on Toonami or whatever it is on Adult Swim, not here, but on the American one, they're now showing it dubbed into English.
Are they?
Yeah, I think
They
they've
could have
just
told me
started.
that. I had to sit there and
Well,
read
we don't have the American
words.
Toonami, however you
I'm
pronounce
sure
it.
we can find a way around that. I meant, yeah, we can't get that, can we?
Yeah, but then they're only on episode 3 or 4 at the moment, so you'd still
alright.
you'd be waiting.
26 episodes.
Something like that.
So yeah, you can kind of get through it fairly quickly. They're 20-minute episodes. You've probably got like 2 minutes at the end for the credits, 2.5 minutes at the beginning for the theme tune and stuff like that. So
I
they're
found
probably-
nearly every episode, with the exception of kind of like the second half of the season when that started, when it was like the bit of the courtroom stuff going on.
Yeah.
But nearly every other episode, apart from those two, was like the ending just ramped it up. And you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
It
Like,
almost-
you've killed that person off. What the fuck?
It
And you're
almost
like,
did seem like every time it'd end and that little bit comes up says to be continued, it was almost like a no, don't you dare end it there, you can't do that to me. And this is just like, it's a crazy little 20-minute anime, but it manages to kind of grab your attention and keep you hanging on there, which is amazing. And I don't know if you know or not, but they're actually planning a live action
I
movie, aren't
did
they?
hear that, yeah.
And after watching this series, I'm just like, this could be like the greatest movie in the world. If they do it right, and if they take the best aspects of the anime and make it into a movie, and it's done well, shot well, it's got that same sort of emotion in there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tenseness and action and just
It'll
chaos.
It'll be a tough one to do with the. It's obviously going to have a lot of CG for the the Titans and so on.
Yeah. Unless they do what I said and get like sort of toddlers and just make them run across in there, film them from below and just be like, oh, these giant
Like an old 50s B movie.
green
with giant
screen them and
crabs
make
in,
them huge, yeah. But that'd probably take away from it because, child actors aren't
So I
that
think,
great.
I mean, Chad, I know you watched Death Note, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, we watched,
Yeah.
and the movies, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I've got them.
So I think those would be a good one. Oh, you got them, did you?
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah.
All right,
Box set.
all right, okay. Oh, you really got into that as well then.
Yeah, that was years ago. I was on your recommendation.
I think I took them
Years
at work
ago.
at that time. We watched them at work.
Yeah, it's probably what. Yeah.
Because that's I'd recommend that one for you then, Sean, if you're thinking of watching another anime. It's to do with Death Note.
Okay.
It's basically we have our concept of death. The guy, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
They've got like these creatures called Shinigami, which they write down someone's name in their book, and that person will die, and they get that person's lifespan.
It's a bit easier than our version of death, isn't it? He has to go out and poke
go out
people.
and
They
do
just
it
go, oh, Joe. I'm dead. Super easy. It's like an office job for Japanese anime death.
They're the admin of the Grim Reaper world.
Or maybe they could tie in the two and they write the note and then it doesn't actually just kill the people, it actually gets
Oh,
sort of
the Grim
mailed
Reaper's
off to
got to
our
go
Grim
in.
Reaper and he's like, another letter's just come in, who is it this time? Joe, alright. Poke.
Poke.
Crazy version of like Father Christmas or something where you send in your and you send in your list for your present.
But the thing for this one is that one of these Shinigami is bored because nothing really happens in their realm, and he intentionally drops his note into the human world. A guy finds it, and you sort of think, this is just some stupid book someone's put. It's got this little list of rules in it. Yeah, right, I'm going to write someone's name in, they're going to die. Curiosity gets the better of him, does it, someone dies of a heart attack.
Oh.
And then he realises, I could use this power to get rid of all the criminal element in the world. But he starts off with a strong sense of justice, but then it gets twisted as it goes along because he's now, I'm going to be god of this new world that I'm creating. But it's really good.
It's like the strangest superhero I could ever think of. Like, people have like great power, he's just like writes people's names down.
Yeah.
Power! The pen is mightier than the sword.
It's the mind games though, because then there's like this really clever detective who's after him. There's the mind games that they're playing. The detective knows he's the guy he's after,
Right.
and he knows this guy's gonna, obviously he's a detective who's after him, but they end up working together. He ends up helping the detective try and solve the case, even though they both know that they're against each other. It's really, really cleverly written.
Okay, yeah.
But there's odd moments in it. I think I showed you a section, Amy, where out of context, you wouldn't know what's going on. Where it just had someone eating a crisp out of a packet, and it was done so epic. Where he's like, "I'm gonna take a potato chip and eat it," and you're like, "Why is that so epic?" But when you watch it, you're like, "Yeah, this is brilliant." But I thought the film had a better ending. There's 2 films, and the second part of the anime series, it kind of got a little bit lost its way. It should have ended sooner, and I think the film had a much, much better ending than the anime did.
Excellent.
But yeah, they're really good.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. It might be a case of... Because I downloaded an app on my iPad. It's called Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I
Have you
know
ever heard of that?
Crunchyroll, yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded it because I think I watched the first 6 episodes on that because I couldn't find Attack on Titan anywhere after you recommended it to me about, 6 months, 8 months ago. And I downloaded that app and I was like, wow, it's got a shit ton of free anime on it. I don't know what half of these things are, what the hell it is, but yeah, I found Attack on Titan on there, so I watched that. So maybe if it's got all of that stuff, it might have.
I think it has
definitely.
actually, yeah.
If not, it might have to scour Netflix to see if it's on there. Otherwise, I might have to hook me up with some anime.
I've got them sitting on the shelf anyway. So
hook me up with some DVDs.
they're in the DVD
yeah.
collection.
Excellent.
Trud's looking at it going, "You got too many DVDs, Mark." Then twin piles on the floor on the right there that I haven't got round to watching yet. Pile. So I should hurry up with that.
I've probably got about 3/4 of the amount you have.
They're not all mine. I'd like to point out.
There's 1 or 2 there, yours. I can see Bridesmaids up there.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
That's like me looking at it going, I can see one of yours there, my dear. Oh, Itchy the Killer.
It's weird because I just looked at the DVD and I saw that exact DVD you were looking at. Maybe that's the one that stands out. Because
That's
it's sort of
going
a
to
bright
leap
orange.
out at you for homework then.
Oh.
It's the only film in the world where the credits rise out of a pool of jizz.
Ah.
They do, yeah.
Oh, God.
Excellent.
Cross your
Quality
incense.
production.
Right, okay, segue from Pool of Jizz. Segue from Pool of Jizz.
A film that you didn't like that you thought was a pool of jizz. That'd be good.
Hang on.
Did Bob Hoskins is dead? Did he die in a pool of jizz?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Oh shit, sorry.
I was going to reference something else, but unless you want to go with that. I was going to say, have you ever noticed how much of a pool of jizz Danny Dyer is?
Yeah.
I come across this article the other day. I was sort of doing some prep for this podcast. I just thought, I always do a bit of movie prep. Obviously, we chat about movies. I just thought, what's weird, random things we can talk about? And I came across this. It links in with movies because Danny Dyer has been in films, such as
There he's
Football
in
Factory.
EastEnders.
Yeah.
But there is in EastEnders.
Why is there in movies? Because he's been in some.
Yeah, he was in movies, but
And he ended up in EastEnders, or they all end up.
Yeah.
More career though.
Is
but
he still in it? Is he at the
Oh,
moment?
yeah, he's not been in it long.
Oh, right. Okay.
but
Fangirl.
can you imagine the way that Danny Dyer speaks? He's very sort of like, I'm an hard man, London Cockney weed.
You were saying the fucking rag the other day,
I'll
right?
fuck you up. Have you ever wondered what kind of things he would tweet?
No.
Someone like, shout at you slag.
I think he's one of these guys that, regardless of like how he talks, he's actually quite a soft sort of guy, but he just talks like.
Shut
Well,
at you slag.
I've seen
Basically-
some stuff when he's not acting, though, when he's been on 8 out of 10 Cats or Mock the Week or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're a fucking idiot.
He still talks like that. doesn't he?
Yeah.
He still talks like that.
But it's aliens.
Yeah, he
Part
done
of
a
his environment there. It's
a
just the way he's
programme where he was
raised.
speaking to
Or
people that had seen
London,
aliens,
London.
like a shit version of Louis Theroux. And he was.
So you've seen some fucking aliens, have
He
you?
reckoned he'd saw one. He was telling them, yeah, I fucking saw one. We was just sitting there, and then one of them turned up, poked his little fucking nut round the door, and fucked off. He did. And you're like, oh.
Danny Dyer was a big drug.
great.
Well, he liked his drugs back in the day, so yeah, that's why he's probably off his head.
Well, what I might do here is I got a article here. It says the 26th most brilliantly Danny Dyer tweets of all time, and I scoured a few of these, and these are brilliant. But seems like you've got an awesome Danny Dyer accent, Mark. I think I might get you to read a couple of these out.
Okay.
Basically, number one, I don't know the whole story about this, but apparently he went to a park and there weren't any ducks, and this is what he tweeted.
Oh, I've seen that one.
I've seen it.
Have you? Oh, I haven't. Well, that was weird. Found a lovely pond/lake, not a fucking duck in sight. Maybe they were shy, or maybe they was arrogant. Pricks.
That's amazing.
That's actually quite good. I'm almost tempted to follow him on Twitter just for that.
And then to follow that up, number two is it says, and when they did make an appearance, he's tweeted a picture of him feeding the ducks, and it just says, "What a happy little arrogant prick of a duck."
Oh, dear.
Here's a fantastic one. November 11th. This is how he commemorated November 11th.
All right. Got to do the voice now. Fucking hell. Let me get in character. Fucking hell, right. Can't believe it's been nearly 11 years since them slags smashed into the Twin Towers. Still freaks my nut out on this... Oh, fuck. I got my lines wrong. Still freaks my nut out to this day. 9/11. Channel 4, 10 o'clock. What?
I love the way it's been 11 years since them slags smashed into the Twin Towers.
Don't mind that writing. You slag.
You were talking about your quote book earlier and things.
There weren't any Danny Dyer ones in
There weren't
there,
any
I
Danny
don't
Dyer.
think.
Well, maybe you can write this one down and you can add it to the book of idioms.
Which one am I looking
after
at?
you've read this one out.
The early bird thing. Let me get in character again. Fucking hell. Right. I ain't that early bird. You know the one who catches the worm. Get back in your nest, you feathery little mug. He doesn't know what that saying means, does he?
No, he literally thinks in his mind it's a bird that gets up early and catches a worm.
He probably had a pet worm.
That bird fucking caught
Yeah.
my worm.
My worm Slaggy.
I had to slice it right down the fucking middle.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to find some. We're quite far away from the festive season of Christmas, but here's what Danny Dyer said when his Christmas decorations weren't quite up to scratch.
I gotta get in the character again. Slag.
Slag, 9, early bird, whack.
Right, what was that? We done a review.
We did the review.
The cops, weren't it?
Was it Bad Country?
I think it was.
Where me and you were interrogating
And I couldn't
Joe.
do the voice unless
You kept going into like Australian, didn't
Yeah.
you? Like, all right, dear mate.
So I had to start off by going, right, you fucking slag. Okay, I'm ready now. Get filming. Still a crap accent, but never mind. Right. Just whack me tree up. It's looking slightly camp this year. Can't work out how to give it a pair of bollocks.
Stick some baubles on it, Danny Dyer.
We had intestines on our tree, so we couldn't outdo him. Dear.
Oh, man. Okay, have you ever been to a zoo and thought the animals looked a bit depressed? Well, Danny Dyer did, and this is what he tweeted.
How fucking depressed are the animals in a zoo? Me and my little one felt a bit guilty staring at them. Even the rabbits looked fucked.
Even the rabbits looked fucked. It's so eloquently.
I've probably been humping all day, that's probably why.
Joe, I know you're a watcher of the Gadget Show on Channel 5 here in the UK. Danny Dyer made an appearance on the Gadget Show and he did himself a little bit of PR. Here's what he tweeted to get you guys to
I've got to do this again.
Yeah, come
Can I
on.
stop soon?
There's 26 tweets.
Alright. No, fuck it now.
Oh, fuck it hell.
Fuck. You slag. Tonight I'll be on the Gadget Show on Channel 5 at 8 o'clock. If you want fucking don't know what fucking accent
Tune in,
this
mate.
is.
I was a bit Australian there.
If you're interested, enjoy. If not, well, get fucked.
So
No
basically,
more my accents go. I can't. No.
It's all accent there.
I'm not accented out.
oh man, I just thought that was just incredible. It is a good one. When Danny Dyer reviews movies, just watched Ratatouille with the little un. Fuck me, I was rooting for that rat. I think that's all about we can probably stomach, but it's only
Danny Dyer quote of the week.
That's bizarre.
Blimey.
I could talk about some of what we was talking about last week, what I've been watching, what Chud was talking about. I didn't make a lot of sense what I just did.
You're very tired, aren't you, Joe? Do you want to start again?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk
Chud
about,
was
Joe?
talking about something last week, so I thought, I'll go along and check that out on Netflix. And it was the From Dusk to Dawn TV series.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's amazing. I've just got up to where they get to the
They've done
titty twister
See,
part.
I stopped after the
episode.
second episode because I just want to.
Marathon.
Marathon,
Well,
yeah.
I was just, again, it was like the Sean thing. I thought, yeah, I've got a couple of hours. Let's just go for it, And I like that it shows you the sort of backstories of some of the characters from the film. So you're sort of like what you were talking about, like Fargo.
Yeah.
It does that sort of thing. So it shows you more of the backstories, and it was just amazing because, like Quentin Tarantino's character, he was pretty crazy in the film, isn't he?
It seems more twisted.
But it's
Oh,
more
right.
twisted. But in the TV series, you've got whys like that. There's a reason sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I won't go into it because I don't want to give it away. But
I'm going to do the
It's,
same as Chud. 'Cause
yeah.
Is it 10 episodes?
Yeah.
I think, and there's about 7 in there probably.
I think,
6,
yeah,
7.
7 have just aired.
Another
Yeah.
couple of weeks and it should be finished.
I think they had a week off and then they...
But it
back on
goes into
yeah.
it all. And like, obviously, right at the start with the coppers, the shootout and the...
Oh, well, they mentioned the robbery or whatever.
and stuff,
yeah.
it goes in, it delves into their characters sort of thing. And
Yeah, right.
no, it's just absolutely brilliant, and I recommend it big time. Check it out.
Three
on
more weeks
Netflix.
when it's all done, and then I'm going to
check it.
Chud
I
Marathon.
think like
Yeah,
Quentin
check it out on
Tarantino
Netflix.
has got a hand in it. I think he's producing.
Oh, right.
No, Robert Rodriguez is doing some with it, I think.
Tarantino's got something to do with it as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So they've made it really good. It's still got that same style in it as the film, and that it's not like an up to date thing like with the whole Sherlock Holmes. There's not cell phones and all that stuff in it, really.
I'm still set in the same time as it.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. They don't have phones and that. Are they?
No, they do because
they?
there's one point he leaves it on his car seat, so he can't get to his phone.
Oh,
think-
I ain't got that bit. I'm probably not.
Oh, that's
watched
on
that
the first episode, I think.
episode. I don't know.
Well, here's a little
Oh, I
interesting
don't know.
fact for you,
I
Joe.
thought
You
they might
mentioned
have
about the
been.
shootout in the convenience store. The actor Michael Parks
Yeah.
was in that, and I listened to a Smodcast, and Kevin Smith said from that particular scene, which Michael Parks isn't in it very much, is he?
No.
It's probably a little thing. He thought that scene was so good, he cast Michael Parks as the Reverend in his movie Red State. Just
Oh,
because
just
of that
for
look,
that?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
He was like, I need this guy to play like a
amazing.
twisted, almost Westboro Baptist Church twisted kind of religious guy. No.
All right.
I like really. We both like
Yeah,
Red
it's pretty
State.
good.
Red State was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really
So I'm
good.
looking
I-
forward to Tusk.
I must admit, I didn't get it first, and that was unusual for me. I was just a bit like, what? But I've gone back to it, and I do really enjoy it.
I like that thing at the
I
end
just
that
didn't
we
enjoy it
kind of
too
like.
much at the start. I don't know why. I just didn't.
No, I got it straight away.
I
I
bought
won't
it straight
spoil the
away
end
on
of this
DVD.
one because it is fairly new. But I like that bit where you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
were they right or what?
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
That's it, yeah.
threw a curveball out. It was quite
But
good.
no, I bought it on DVD when it was released, and I thought.
Talking about
I had
cops,
to go
where
back to
Michael
it.
Parks was a cop in Dusk Till Dawn. Who saw the trailer thing that I posted for Wolf Cop?
Yeah, I see it. I watched it, and that was amazing. It looks
Wasn't it awesome?
amazing. It looks
You'll
so
have to
good.
check it
The
out.
werewolf was proper
It's
cheesy, but it's
a
great.
town sheriff and he's a werewolf.
It looks
It's not like half man, half wolf. all cop.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
I believe I alerted you to this
You
because I
did.
thought this is the kind of shit you'd want.
You
And
name
I
it.
did like the tagline. It was something like Dirty Harry but hairier.
I like it. No, it looked
Yeah,
great.
you linked me that. You emailed me that, didn't you? And I watched this and I'm like, this is fucking
I
awesome.
can't wait for it when it's released. It
The
looked
first
awesome.
30 seconds of the trailer, or whatever, you watch it thinking, oh, I don't know, and then it suddenly ramped up and I'm like,
That's
yes,
it.
this is my film.
Yeah, it seems a bit
Great,
serious at the start, then it just goes a bit crazy then later on. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to see.
It's like,
this.
there's a convenience store robber and he turns up and he's just like, "Rah!" at the
Yeah.
guy, and the bloke just passes out and they're like, thanks, Wolf Cop. It's like, yeah, it's
Cop.
brilliant.
Because Michael Parks, he always
He's not in Wolf Cop, no.
no, but he always
He's always that same character in the Tarantino,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Rodriguez
and
films.
it's his son, isn't it? I think it's his real son in real life. I think that is.
Oh, no, he plays his son in the
Yeah,
film.
I
Oh,
think
right.
that's his real. I think
Number
that's
one
his
son, he calls
yeah.
him.
Yeah, and they always play the same characters in a lot of the different films.
That's right. Yeah, because he was in
Death Proof,
yeah,
wasn't
Death
it?
Proof, yeah.
Uh,
Kill Bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they might have been in Django.
Not. Oh, he was in Django, but
Was
he was
he?
one of the Australians.
That's
I
what I'm
think.
saying. Yeah, still that sort of weird filler. You know, that
Yeah.
sort of yeah. But no.
Is there any more info you've got on Wolf Cop, or are you just going to kind of let the listeners of the
Yeah,
podcast
just
just go and check it out?
Check it out.
Because I
And then
did see
hopefully
that
the
you posted
sequel, Robo Wolf Cop.
in space.
Oh, yeah. Always in space.
Robo Teen Wolf Cop. Watch him at school and college.
People
No, that was
thinking,
it. I saw the trailer, thought it was awesome. Recommend it. If you
Yeah.
like low budget horror,
You guys
Check
gotta
it
check it out. Check the trailer out. Yeah, great.
Excellent stuff. Now, before we talked about Danny Dyer, you mentioned Bob Hoskins, but
I
we
did.
moved off that because we didn't want to link Bob Hoskins and a pool of jizz. So we linked a pool of jizz with Danny Dyer, but did you want to chat about the untimely death of Bob
Yeah.
Hoskins?
we could have linked him to a pool of jizz because you've all seen the Mario Brothers movie.
Hey.
Ha ha!
I
Ah.
like it. Yeah, it was 29th of April, passed away, 71 years of age, died of pneumonia, which is pretty shit.
No.
Well, I mean, old people, you know,
Yeah,
get a
but-
cold and.
He'd been retired a couple of years, so he hadn't
Has
done
he?
any films for a little while.
He's
then.
probably not been well.
When was the last
yeah.
one?
His last movie
The
was
Jet Li
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh right, I don't know if it was. What's the jet?
Unleashed.
Unleashed, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'll
that's
see
good
that.
in that film.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I remember seeing him in.
Yeah, I made a few notes there. He was most notable for the 1988 movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yeah.
of course.
Does anyone have a favourite movie that he was in?
He was in Hook as well. wasn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say Hook,
Good
yeah.
example.
I'm going to
It's
say
me.
Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Where he was,
Long Good Friday.
I think he was almost a plumber in that, like a plumber / electrician, but the film was so good.
I've heard that's supposed to be good audience in Brazil, but Long Good Friday was in that. I think wasn't it? That was one of
Yeah.
his big films.
And of course, you mentioned Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I did read
We'll
an
move
interview.
on from that,
Yeah,
shall we?
no, I was going to say I did read an interview before I came out here, and it's basically Bob Hoskins just saying, "Yeah, the movie was shit, wasn't it?" He was like, people were saying he was good in it, but basically the story was just so wacky and bizarre and just didn't make any sense. He was like, "Yeah, I completely regret being in that movie." It's like, yeah, it shows.
I think I remember reading something like when he was saying that he didn't even really know what Mario was.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
no idea what he was doing.
Until like he was halfway through filming it, and then he went home and his kid was like playing Mario. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what are you playing there?" It's like, "Oh, Mario Brothers." He's like, "I'm filming Mario Brothers. I didn't know it was a game."
And then he went, the film looks nothing like this. It done the He-Man thing in a way
Why am I
where it
not
goes
jumping
to
on people's heads?
It's the New York thing. It's like He-Man, and what, you know, it's set in, I know you said Narnia, what was it? Eternia. God, I still remember that.
Narnia.
But then it's like, yeah, we'll go to New York now. The Smurfs did the same damn thing. Like, yeah, we're in Smurfville, and then we'll go to New York. And that was like Mario Brothers, but in a New York setting. It's like, just set them in their own world.
Yeah.
Stop doing the New York thing.
Crazy.
Yeah, and we got any lasting memories of Bob Hoskins? I really liked him. Does anybody recognise the movie? Not movie. What is it? Music video for the guy Jamie T did a song called Sheila. And
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
Hoskins was in that. Is that song?
We're sitting there going, what the fuck's he talking
I
about?
don't know. It's
You
I know
might
what
you
you
might
mean.
recognise it. It was quite sort of it's a pop
Calling
pop.
London.
Yeah.
London.
She goes out with his mate Stella. Pull it all over,
Yeah,
fella. Basically,
No.
Bob Hoskins is.
I was
I
like,
know,
just
Sean.
then.
It's
Sean's
like,
on something.
I know, I know what you're
it's like
talking
a sort of a pop
Yeah,
rap kind
yeah, it
of
was, yeah.
indie sort
When
of
was
track.
it? When was it? 2000.
I'm gonna say it was probably
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, maybe even longer. I'm not quite sure, but basically, Bob Hoskins is in it, and he's walking along the street and he's rapping along to the lyrics, and it's a really, really cool thing.
cool how
because
it's
just
shot.
like,
I can't
Cool
imagine
edge.
Bob Hoskins.
I know, it's cool how it's shot.
yeah, it's really good. And it's like, is that Bob Hoskins or just somebody that looks like Bob? Oh, how the bloody hell did Jamie T get Bob Hoskins?
What other films has he been in? You should say some films and we'll go, oh yeah. Probably all go, I don't know that one.
I only wrote down a couple, which was Snow White and the Huntsman, Hook, Super Mario Brothers, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Because I think they're the only ones I've seen with him.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit was amazing. I watched that when I was a kid, and it frightened me that the bit where he gets run over and his voice goes. His eyes pop out, and all that was so scary. I was just like,
Christopher Lloyd's awesome. Yeah.
The thing I remember about that movie is just like the bullets that could talk and get in the guns. Just reminded me of the Bullet Bill from Mario, which links into
very good.
Hoskins and Mario.
Segue into something we're already talking about.
Yeah, I segued back into my own little
I'll
segue.
check my notes. I got nothing to segue from. I got nothing on talking bullets.
well, sure, you look at the notes.
Speaking of bullet points.
I had a few bullet points, a few talking bullet points. No?
I'm sweating bullets.
We did mention the other week the Fist of Jesus has now gone to Indiegogo.
Yes.
I had a quick look at it today because now they're only after 35 grand.
All right.
40 days to go and they've already got 10.
Ah, excellent.
Ooh.
And there's still pledges. There's still a role for someone who wants to pledge them 10 grand to be in the movie as a disciple.
Ah, so they kept that pledge,
That's still there.
that perk
Yeah.
from Kickstarter.
I've pledged $35 to get an early bird DVD copy of the film. I think it was 30, but you need a fiver for postage.
You've pretty
but-
much
Same
transposed
as-
what you've done from
yeah.
Kickstarter onto Indiegogo.
But it is a case of you could do another one and decide. Oh, I think they're like $5. You can get a Facebook banner that says you've pledged to the film, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
right,
So there's some
cool.
simple little ones
Cool.
in there as well. But yeah,
Excellent.
I think they look like they're going to be on track for this. So hopefully,
Yeah, but I can't remember. I think they said in the email basically they were hoping to get quite a lot of money to make an awesome, crazy, out there,
Yeah.
bizarre, fantastic movie. But now they've realised they probably haven't got as big a fan base as they wanted, so they've kind of toned it down a little
which
bit.
is a real shame. I mean,
Yeah.
the mini movie thing had like over 1 million hits, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is amazing," but not everyone's.
Yeah, but
Kind
people
of.
can go on YouTube and watch it for free. Not everybody wants to
Yeah.
pay money
Yeah.
to watch a movie, or they're a bit like, well, why do I want to pay money when you're going to make it anyway? I could just watch it online for free, torrent it, download it,
Yeah.
or, whatever those scumbags do.
But it was like, $35, that's £21 or something. It's like, yeah, I'll give them that to help them out, and I'm getting a copy of the movie as well. So,
Yeah, definitely.
which I would go and buy anyway.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer, Judd?
I have not. No.
No. You've got
Yeah,
to check
I
it
had to
out.
go and change my video that I did though. I done Mark talks about Fist of
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah,
Had to go and change all my bloody annotations now. So it's not on Kickstarter anymore. I've got to retype all this stuff.
Oh dear. So did you do that over your bank holiday weekend?
No, I'd done that on the Tuesday. I think we spoke about it Monday. Tuesday, I pledged in some cash and quickly re-edited my.
So you had chance on your bank holiday weekend. You see where I'm going with this? Talking about
Is this
bank
about me doing a
holidays.
video?
No, this is
Okay.
talking about things you can do on a bank holiday weekend.
Oh, okay.
Weird British things that you can do, such as Dorset knob throwing. Anybody partake in a bit of Dorset knob throwing over the
Is this a
weekend?
knob of butter?
No.
No. It's not an actual penis.
Is it like a wooden dildo?
It's not. It's not.
This is a village idiot. His name's Knob. Go on.
Like you-
I think they said toss him off. a cliff.
Hello, I'm Nob.
I'm Knob.
You
I
throw
don't
me
being tossed
today.
off cliffs.
You can thrill me a day, boy.
No, the people that partake in the Dorset knob throwing are known as biscuit athletes.
The fuck is this, man?
I know.
Get this past the Olympic
Hobnobs,
committee.
not hobnobs.
No,
Biscuit athletes.
basically they're biscuits, but they're called Dorset knobs because the maker of the biscuits wanted them to
It's
sound
called
a
knob.
bit mental. Yeah. So basically, like, you go to a shop and like, I could murder eating a knob right now.
I'll have a packet of twat waffles, please.
Got any cunt nuggets? Sorry,
You're,
Amy,
you're
this
very
women-
quiet for this, Amy.
But basically,
That was the best he could do. Go on, right.
And here's the best thing, right? He called them knobs, and then he was a bit like, I don't think this is going to kick off. People aren't going to want to go, I really fancy eating a knob. So basically, he was like, right, on May the 4th, bank holiday weekend, forget all the Star Wars stuff, what people in Dorset are going to do is come in a field... no.
Rephrase.
Come in a field throwing
They're
knobs.
going to arrive in a field, and there's going to be a competition of knob throwing.
Are the Dorset knobs related to hobnobs?
That's what
I
said,
don't
yeah,
know. I'm not sure.
Because hobnobs, that's acceptable, but just calling your biscuit a knob.
I'd rather eat a hob.
But basically,
Was there an advert? Get your mouth round a knob.
and here's a quote from the maker of the Dorset knob throwing organiser. He said, "I suddenly said, I've got it. We can throw Dorset knobs." So basically, people convene in the field.
So before this, they threw other biscuits.
No, I don't think they did anything with biscuits. I think they just ate the knobs.
It's gone back to Father's Day again, hasn't it?
They nibbled on their knobs, but they didn't throw the knobs until he said, right, business isn't quite booming. How about I get 5,000 people in the field to watch people throw underarm a knob and then see who gets it the furthest.
Before then, they were just flinging bourbons around. And
Yeah.
now...
Oh, they're crumbling. You're not supposed to dip it in your tea beforehand.
They got some structure now.
Yeah, exactly. They're a hard knob.
I've got, my friend, she has gone to a cheese rolling.
Well,
today.
it's funny you talk about that, Joe,
Yeah.
because I will get to that. So if you could take that back and then mention it when I say it. Yeah. We're still talking about knobs here. We're not getting onto knob cheese or cheese down the hill.
Jeez.
I only picked this because it's got the word knob in it and just thought we could get some awesome laughter out of this.
Knob in your gob.
But other events at the festival include a knob eating contest,
Not goblin.
knob goblin you could say, a knob and spoon race,
Knob Goblin, he was in Spider-Man.
A knob and spoon.
a knob and spoon race, a knobathon, which it doesn't, it doesn't elaborate on.
That sounds like Bukkake.
They just throw these knobs at people's faces. In your face!
Was Ron Jeremy in
Who
that?
can catch the most crumbs on their face? Isn't it?
Oh God! I think I just crumbed myself.
I think you do pretty well with that.
Oh,
bit.
you just crumb on me! Don't crumb on me, crumb on her!
Crumb on, oh no.
And they rounded off the events with a bit of knob darts.
What the
Is it
hell?
wrong that
Is
I've
there a
got
picture of the knobs on
this
there?
vision of someone with his knob
Basically,
out
just
running
look
in
like
the dartboard?
rolls.
Like that Velcro fly thing.
Yes.
And someone sharpening the end of it. So
Let me just toss my knob.
Joe, go. Mention.
cheese.
Oh yeah, I have a friend who, and I was talking to her today, and she lives in Stilton. So yeah, and they had a cheese rolling contest. Whatever
Which
it
is another thing you can do over the bank holiday weekend, which I'm guessing you didn't go to Stilton and
No,
partake
I,
in some.
Cheesy knobs.
Cheesy roll.
I missed it this year.
You did,
unfortunately. Yeah, I missed,
Oh,
I missed
damn.
dropping cheese down a hill.
Well, apparently,
Chasing it.
for those of you out there who have no idea what cheese rolling is, and that
Welcome to
probably
England.
that probably
Everyone outside England.
that involves most people in this room probably. Basically, people convene in the field, much like the knobathon or the knob darts contest, and they get wheels of cheese and they roll them down a hill and then basically chase
them
after
And
them.
hurt themselves.
And these are like really, really steep hills. And apparently this extreme escapade has been going on for more than 2 centuries and attracts participants across the world. So maybe we're not the only
So
ones
is it
that
the
know
world's
about
first extreme sport?
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, Daredevil Cheese Chasers hurt themselves.
I like it. That's
Cheese
a bad name
chasers.
right there.
Cheese
Put that on
Chasers.
your CV.
Daredevil cheese chasers.
I'm a biscuit Olympian. What's it, a biscuit
I'm a
athlete?
knob thrower and a cheese chaser.
They're just going to look at it and go, well, he's gay.
Gay.
Yeah, we need a new gay employee in the workplace and get the job.
Cheese chasers hurl themselves down the notoriously steep 1 to 2 gradient. I'm not sure if that's something that I don't understand that. In Gloucester, and they try and catch a wheel of double Gloucester cheese.
What happens
go
when you
buy
get
some.
it? Is there a prize for...
Let me just see. I don't know. It doesn't say.
Is there something at the bottom of the hill? So you have
I
to
think
stop it before it crashes into an orphanage and kills children or something. There's like a reason for...
I don't think so. I think it's
wheel of
dangerous
cheese.
enough anyway.
It's a really big wheel of cheese.
Indiana
not
Jones
that big.
film.
Destroy
Like
an
Indiana
orphanage and kill
Jones
children.
with the problem.
Maybe one of the children is lactose intolerant.
You're gonna kill little Jimmy.
I was going to say little Jimmy, yeah. Little Jimmy's gonna have the shits for a week now.
The first written evidence of cheese rolling was found in a message to the Gloucester Town Crier in 1826, so it could have been the first extreme event involving cheese.
Involving cheese.
He got up one day and go, I know a good idea. I've got some cheese. There's a hill here.
What should we do?
What would work?
Should we just roll it down?
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we can do. Oh, that's my only bit of cheese. I'm going after it.
And then some little guy said, I'll chase some.
I'll roll your bank holiday related
I'll
things
run after it with you.
involving bizarre things to do with food. Are we going to see like the sausage javelin?
We're not. There's a few other things. That would be
sausages. I'm giving you a segue, Amy.
Me?
Yeah. go on.
What?
Speaking of sausages.
I'm looking forward to a film coming out
Yeah.
called Sausage Party. It was the title that attracted me, to be honest.
Is this? I think I did read something about it. Is this a couple of guys wanting to do a Pixar-esque style movie, but call it Sausage Party? Make it like an R-rated Pixar movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
That's crazy.
animated for next year. Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill were writing it.
And your buddy James Franco.
That sounds promising.
Yeah.
An animated movie about one sausage's quest to discover the truth about his existence.
There's going to be about 1,000 phallic jokes in there.
There's going to be
Big
more
time.
knob gags than ever.
More knob gags than us talking about the Dorset knob throwing.
If you thought our knob throwing was a bit...
Yeah, I thought
Sounds
sounded
good.
amusing.
Yeah.
So,
Give it a go.
it can't be any worse than Pearl Harbor.
Nothing can be worse than
No.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I mean, countless people died in Pearl Harbor, and it was really bad. Oh, you're talking about the sorry, you're talking about. But do you guys think?
That was a bit cheesy.
Oh dear.
Back to the cheek.
Drunk it now.
No, but do you think a R-rated Disney or Pixar or animated movie will work?
I think it may set some up, so there'll be more in the future, I think.
Yeah.
I think
I
it will
think
be
it
a
might
good
work.
thing, but like what I did read in this article, they think it might alienate kind of parents from the Disney, Pixar and animated route, because they're a bit like, well, if they're going to make movies like this, how do we know we're not going to sort of start putting rude and crude jokes in our everyday animated,
Because that's why they've got a age rating.
It is, but people are bloody
And
stupid.
You watch the
Yeah.
trailers
People are so
beforehand.
stupid, they roll down a hill after a bit of
Well,
cheese.
Yeah.
There is that.
But those people deserve to be flattened by a giant wheel of cheese.
Speaking of flattened by a giant wheel of cheese,
If we go back to the animated thing, but I think I've got some animated stuff on there which is more like for mature. I've got one. There's a guy called Frank Sudol or Sudol. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And he does his own animated movies, and he does all the animation. He does all the sounds, edits them, does all the voices on them. I've got one on there. Cool. Oh God, where is it? I'm trying to look on the shelf. It's on that first. Is it dead something? Oh,
well, you've alphabetised your
Yeah, but I've moved
DVD
them
rack.
round. Shit, it's not there. Oh, where did I put it? I'm sure it was dead. No, City of Rot. That was it.
Ah.
It's a zombie film
Close enough.
that actually does a really good reason for why why people are becoming zombies. It's to do with worms that are in water. You drank the water, the worms got in your system, and you're then this thing that the worms control and drive. And the whole story is about, it's an old man on his little Zimmer frame. He's gone outside because he's pissed off because his slippers aren't comfortable anymore, and he wants a new pair of slippers. And he gets caught up in the whole zombie thing, and he thinks there's walkers talking to him.
So it's an animated, R-rated thing.
It's a rough animated thing. It looks more like Flash animation,
Okay, yeah.
but it's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. He'd done one before that, which, again, I've forgotten the name. It was very Evil Dead style, and he's done a third one, which is more of a sci-fi thing. But they're full-on gory. I mean, the old man's getting the walking frame sticking around the zombie's neck and twisting it and ripping their heads off. But they're really, really good.
Cool.
Really good.
Kind of reminds me of that movie you've seen, Cockneys versus Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not as good as I thought it was.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of did a similar thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the zombies are trying to break into the old people's
Yeah.
homes, so they were using all the sort of old
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
Zimmer frames and walking sticks and
It's
all
got
that kind
brick top in it. Is it brick top?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and him out of The Good Life, wasn't it?
Yeah,
What's his
Richard
name?
Bryars.
He was the best character in it.
great in that
Yeah, he
film.
was. And of course, the Japanese have been doing adult-centered,
Yeah.
animation
Yeah, of
for
course.
years. Probably too adult-centered occasionally. Unless you like tentacles up your bum.
Can't say
Have you got a segue from that?
Tentacles.
Did anything happen on a bank holiday?
Tentacles. Did you know they're opening a new cinema here in Wisbech?
sort of.
Yeah.
Nothing in the world to do with tentacles at bum. I just thought
I know where
I'd nip
you're
that one
going
in the
with
bud.
this.
Quite soon, isn't it?
Well,
Who
basically,
is it though? What franchise?
The light.
yeah, it's
Were
a
they?
cinema company called The Light Cinema.
Light.
I've never heard of them. I've only ever heard of like Odeon or Showcase. Or here locally we've got
Cineworld
the
and
Lux
things.
and the Majestic, but I think they're sort of independent ones.
I think
Is-
they
is
have
Cineworld's a
they've got a
franchise,
couple
isn't
of other ones, haven't they? Cineworld's a franchise.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Huntingdon, isn't it?
But yeah.
So yeah, basically we're going from Tentacles Up Bums to the Wisbech Cinema, which is opening on the 23rd of May. But the day before, a special Rotary Gala will be held at the venue with an advanced showing of X-Men: Days of Future Past. But I don't really want to talk about the opening of the cinema. I want to talk about something that got a lot of people's
I've heard
ire
about it.
raised
I've heard about it.
in
Controversy.
Wisbech.
Yeah, I've heard
For
about
those of you out there who have no idea what we're on about when we reference...
We live in a town and we're confused, I think, of what...
We live in a town called Wisbech, which is in the Fens, it's in East Anglia, and we have a very high population
Oh, I see where we're
of
going.
Eastern European people that come over here and work in our fields, and there's a lot of sort of yokel kind of...
If you're American, think Mexicans.
Yeah, and
In a way, you know.
think of the local people of Wisbech as redneck Texans. Or think of South Park. The Turkey Cheer! There's a lot of people
Fairly
around here.
accurate description.
Yeah, so if you're American and you're thinking, oh, I don't really understand it, yeah, think of a Texan going, Mexican took my job! It's a lot of people around here say that about the Eastern Europeans. But
Those are usually the people who don't have a job, never wanted a
Yeah.
job.
yeah,
Well, they're off the
exactly.
dole.
And they use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I haven't got a job because...
I haven't got a job because people are taking our jobs.
But I don't want a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Will
I'm
you
glad I
work in
took
the
the
field
job.
picking asparagus? No, I don't want to do that. Well, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
But that...
Will you turn
yeah.
up to work?
We are talking about that, but
No.
basically...
Politics all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't want to get too
Hey.
down and dirty with it, but there's a quote from the article, and I'm just trying to find it right here, right now. Sorry. Where is it?
How professional.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Should I talk about something else while you... What did you mention? Oh, X-Men. Hugh Jackman has said that the next solo Wolverine movie will be his last turn as the character. So does that kind of link into last week's Death of Wolverine comic?
Maybe.
There you go, life imitating art. No, that's art again.
Art imitating art.
Yeah.
I think a lot of comic books, and films do copy each other. So.
Have you found your thing yet? I'm struggling.
Yeah, I have. Here's one thing that got a lot of people up in arms. Here's the direct quote from the article. It says, "To appeal to Wisbech's migrant populations, films will be shown with Polish subtitles." Now, what I gathered from this, now I know it says films will be shown. Basically, everybody on my Facebook feed went, every movie's going to be with Polish subtitles. And I was like, would they do that? That seems very alienating to people that don't want to... I'm not really a massive fan of watching things with subtitles.
No.
I sat through Attack on Titan because it's just great, and I wouldn't been able to understood it if they didn't put subtitles on it because I don't
Have you
speak Japanese.
found as well though, when you're watching something, even if the subtitles come up in English,
What you read.
you
You
can't
still
help but
read
read
it.
it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I understand. I wouldn't want to go and watch a movie if it had Polish subtitles on the bottom because, like you say, I do get distracted by them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I watch a movie and it's got Spanish subtitles, and I find myself going, so he just said brother, and it says on there hermano.
You try and link
So brother means hermano.
link it up, don't you?
pueblo.
Yeah.
That's door, is it? And I'm trying to
You're
learn.
learning.
Yeah, I'm learning what I'm doing.
I don't want to learn.
Until you realise the guy who done the subtitles was lazy.
Yeah,
And you've gone over to going, hey, hermano, and you found out it means like breadstick face or something. I don't know why.
Hey, cheese chucker.
Hey, cheese roller, cheese chaser,
Codpiece face.
codpiece face. What was that from?
What'd you call me? Codpiece face.
What was that from?
Young ones.
It's oh god, should have known that one.
So, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it directly means that every movie in that cinema will have Polish subtitles? Or did you kind of take what I took from it and there will be certain screenings that will blatantly say Polish subtitles available?
I'm hoping it's that.
I think people will just jump into conclusions.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, every film's going to have it. I very much doubt it. I reckon there'll be special screenings.
Yeah.
More to the point, will we have updated films like the Showcase Cinema in Peterborough? Like, will we do
I
you
should
think?
imagine so.
Have they said their ticket prices is what I'm interested in?
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it, but you might be able to get it up on your
That would be
computer
very stealthy, I should
because
imagine.
my iPad's not hooked up to your Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, I forgot to give you my
Wi-Fi.
change the router.
But yeah, anyway, a lot of people kind of went overboard with that.
What do I type into Google, Sean?
The Light
The
Cinema.
light, that was it.
But I've been
the Light Boy.
to the Majestic Cinema in Kings Lynn, which is a town close to us, and they do sort of special screenings for autistic children and children with sort of special needs and stuff like that. And I don't hear people complaining about that because, you know, it's a specialty thing. They do it
Yeah.
on certain times where
course.
probably people are at work or they don't put it on bank holidays, they don't put it on weekends, which I think they'll probably do that with the specialist Polish subtitles.
My only complaint with the Majestic is I went to see it once a few years ago, and I can't remember what film it was, so I went with a girlfriend at the time, and it was full, and there was only 2 seats left.
Right.
And my seat happened to be right behind a pillar. So I spent the whole film leaning over to the right, looking around this pillar.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I haven't been to the
That's-
Majestic since Terminator 2, I think.
I've never been.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I've never
the
been.
80s.
Never been. Ever
Oh,
been. to like
91,
Kingston
Yeah,
Cinema.
early 90s. Yeah.
Well, I've only had pleasurable experiences at the Majestic Cinema in Kings Lynn. Most recently, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Only paying £4 for a cinema
Yeah.
ticket is a high incentive to go. I don't know if you've managed to get the prices up there of the light
No, I
cinema. which
found
will
where
be
their
open.
cinemas are, but I can't
When you go on
really find it.
Check
one of their
another one,
websites
yeah.
and see what they kind of.
This is lightcinemas.com. They've got one in Thetford,
It
actually.
says Wisbech, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, podcast people. I can't. It won't let me click on it, Sean.
Okay.
is-
But I'm going to guess as it's a massive chain, they're going to be up in the £9 to £10 region because Showcase Cinema, they're about £9.50 right now.
It depends what time of the day you go and what day of
Yeah.
the week. 'cause
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes
but
you get about £7.
You get
Sometimes
deals
like
as
They,
well,
£9.
they need to do like matinee showings.
Yeah,
things which would
but
be-
not everybody can get to them. I think the majority of them will be probably like £9.
Yeah.
I think maybe did you say the Huntington one was a Cineworld?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I think I looked on theirs and they're upwards of £10, maybe even over £10. So
It's supposed to be a really good
But it
cinema,
is
though.
really
It is,
good.
yeah.
I'd rather
it is.
pay even to travel that extra bit further to go to Huntingdon than I would
Oh, it's
Peterborough.
supposed to
It's
be
really
Really?
nice.
Yeah, it's tiered nicely. You're never
Yeah,
going to get anyone
yeah.
sitting directly in front of you who's going to block your view.
Yeah.
They've got a bar outside. and
Comfy
I've never
seats.
seen it open. Yeah, the seats are
Show-
nice and comfy, cup
showcase
holders.
slowly
And
They have their seats have all been redone. They've got
We should have a
Nice
ChapterSkip
seat,
day
man.
out there.
yeah, we haven't all done a film for a while since we stopped doing reviews.
That'd be interesting.
So you guys are kind of backing me up on this one.
Yeah.
People of Wish Beach,
Don't
don't
panic.
get your titties in a twist.
Well, I'd not even heard that news until just now.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, yeah, it'll just mean the odd one.
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
came
who
up on my
cares?
Facebook feed. People.
Yeah. Instantly
Flagging
just
it.
went.
And if
yeah.
it's a cheaper viewing, if they'd been like, well, we're going to show this one, but no, it probably wouldn't be a cheaper viewing because then
No.
people would moan about they're getting it.
We do
Yeah,
Orange
cheaper, right?
Wednesdays.
I'm sure they would. I think most cinemas kind of jump on that
Also,
bandwagon.
what I'm going to say is, what about the looks? What will happen with the people? Like, will it, like with the late cinema?
Hopefully, it'll
Take a
give a
lot
bit
of
healthy
people.
competition price wise, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
can
think-
imagine
Because
them
that's
more
a nice little
independent
cinema,
films.
isn't
Yeah, if he goes to more independent stuff.
That'd be interesting.
But
Like if
will
we
he
did
make
like
his
an
money
art
doing
movie
more?
night or something like that, like you know.
But
that sort of
I
stuff.
don't think people will go to that. I think
No.
what the Lux Cinema might need to do is cut their prices a little bit, lower, and still continue what it's doing because I think they've got a good fan base
Yeah.
in the Lux. I think people enjoy the Lux
Yeah,
because
it's nice.
Here's a nice atmosphere.
yeah, it's a really nice cinema. You got your VIP seating. There's not sort of masses of people in there, so you're probably not going to have like.
I still think he needs to sort out advertising better. When we all went and watched that premiere of Reverend,
Yeah.
and I don't want to make it sound big-headed on my part, but I counted and there was at least 20 to 30 people that were in there due to me mentioning it to people. I mean, you guys only knew about it, I think, because I'd mentioned it.
Yeah.
And it was only by chance because I was looking to see if he was showing Troll Hunter. I think that was
right.
out at the same time. And I suddenly saw this thing for like, oh, Reverend, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the writer, director, whatever's going to be there.
Yeah.
But nothing had been advertised. If I hadn't just happened to look on that day,
Yeah.
would have known anything about it, and there'd have only been, say, 10 people in the cinema or
Yeah.
something. It was a bit...
Well, it all
Because we asked
depends.
him, didn't we, at the end? We were talking to him.
Yeah.
I think Glenn was there,
Oh,
getting quite
God.
angry.
Well, Well, the thing is,
But-
I think he advertises every week in the local newspaper, but who reads, you know, we're not of the
Who even
age.
gets it?
I don't
We
read
very
the
rarely get it
newspaper.
delivered.
No, I don't.
If I need to look up news, I'll literally, like I did with this article, just go on the website, you know.
But the
every
thing
sort of-
I think when Glenn spoke to him and he was like, it's in his newsletter or whatever,
Yeah.
his little booklet. You're like, yeah, but you need to reach the people that aren't on your mailing list.
Yeah,
You've got to reach out more than that.
Do they do like plays there now, like live showing of plays?
They're
or
doing
something
like the
Yeah.
opera stuff. aren't
Yeah.
they?
Not as that.
Shakespeare or something.
Trying to get
Yeah.
a different audience
I
again.
don't know how well,
suppose.
because the showcase does them as well, don't
Do
they?
they?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know how well they go, guys.
Yeah, what I think the Lux Cinema might do is find its target audience, which I think is predominantly older people.
Yeah, older people, yeah.
And probably families with younger children,
Yeah.
because I think the movies that do well, because they always do like a half-term special, don't they?
Yeah.
They always show the big movies, like the Lego Movie or the Pixar.
But then
Despicable
again,
Me.
the big cinema's going to show the same film.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is very family friendly there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, if you take a 4-year-old, you know that you're not going to get people turning at you
No.
and stuff.
And,
Yeah.
and the intermissions as well.
Yeah, but I'd expect that in a family movie. As much as I hate other people's kids,
Oh no, dear.
I still expect that.
And it's nice that you get a break halfway through the film, sort of thing, too.
Yeah.
I don't. You didn't on Lego Movie?
Don't you?
No.
They don't
No, straight
always.
through.
Oh, right, I thought they
sometimes
always
they
did.
do.
No, no, and that's a kids' film. But he just
Someone
ripped
asked
it.
me that the other day about the intermissions, and I distinctly remember there being an intermission in maybe it was the Avengers. I can't
Yeah, there was an
remember.
Avengers.
What
There was
did we
a
go watch?
Pacific
What
Rim.
did
one,
we
yeah.
go
There
watch?
was
Pacific Rim.
films I've seen though that
Yeah,
there was
I'm sure
no
there was.
intermissions.
Yeah, it was the Pacific Rim. Was us three and
Yeah.
my dad,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
I remember watching The Dark Knight Rises there, and that needed an intermission
Oh,
because that
yeah.
movie's like 5 hours long.
I think if it's spot on the hour and a half mark, he'll probably not do the intermission. But anything longer than an hour and a half, you'll get
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I think the
Depends
intermission
on the
is a
reels,
good
maybe.
I
idea,
do, I
but
like it.
sometimes I think it breaks up the movie a bit
Yeah,
too much. It
yeah.
ruins the flow of it.
Right.
Like if it ends on a good thing, but I think I watched. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, but when I watched RoboCop, the remake there, it kind of cut in a really weird place, and I was like, oh, it's just totally ruined the flow of it. And I was like, actually, I don't give a shit. This movie sucks. So, yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive, so it wasn't too
Can't
bad.
escape.
And here's another thing. The intermission is great if you want to go get a drink
Yeah.
or if you've got friends to talk to. I watched RoboCop by myself, so I was just sitting there just kind of like, okay, I'm by myself,
On your
everyone's,
phone.
everyone's chatting.
And I guess because the Lux has got a licensed bar, that's going to always
Yeah.
attract people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this new cinema will as well. I think it all just depends on whether...
Ultimately, for me, it'll be pricing.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, well, it would take me from where I live right now about 15 to 20 minutes to walk to the Lux
Yeah.
if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It'd probably take me about half an hour to
Yeah.
walk to the Light Cinema. So, you know, it's
Lux
all to do
is,
with
yeah.
distance as well from where
Yeah.
people live.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about 20-minute walk to the Light Cinema from where I am.
Yeah.
About 5-minute
Are
walk.
we supposed to be getting a bowling alley as well?
I've heard that.
They're doing
I don't know too
a
much.
gym upstairs there, aren't they?
Yeah, that opens the end
But
of the
that's
month.
24/7.
24/7, yeah.
But
Bloody hell.
that means it's not going to be manned all the time,
That's
which
crazy.
means there'll be someone supposed to watch you on CCTV. So if you're in there on your own and
You get trapped
get
under a
yourself
weight.
trapped under your back,
Yeah.
good luck with that.
The same
That seems a bit risky.
the Hudson, though, for the last couple of hours, there's nobody there. If you're there on your
Oh,
own, drop
really?
weight on your head, that's it, then no one finds you.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Till the morning.
All right, I'm
Oh,
always
dear.
used to someone being.
Help me!
So it's cardio when it's all shut down, is it? So unless you get caught in a treadmill and you keep going round and round and round. on the treadmill. No!
Treadmills with hamster wheels.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Doing it
That's what I thought you
again.
did.
Running on the big hamster
I've never
wheel.
been to a gym. What do I know? I thought you just run around on a big wheel.
With a ball running around.
Yeah, like the gladiators. Yeah.
That's how they should do the cheese thing. Hollow out a wheel of cheese and put you in it, and then you can scamper about.
Oh man. I've run out of sort of movie-related things
I've
to
got-
talk about.
I've got one
Tell you what
thing.
you got.
Earlier on in the week, sitting down with my girlfriend, trying to find something on Netflix, and I don't know if you guys ever do this, we just can't find anything to watch.
No.
It's just, you're trawling through Netflix for maybe longer than the movie when you're
Yeah,
watching.
done that many
Yeah.
times.
And you stand staring
Yeah,
at
staring
your
at the
DVD collection,
DVD
you can't
shelf going,
decide. But then I found there's always one or two go-to movies. There's films that I can watch no matter what sort of mood
Yeah.
I'm into. I'm just wondering, what are those movies?
Well,
for you
as
guys?
a slight side segue, I weren't sure if you come up with the same news that I found, because actually there is an app called Netflix Roulette.
Oh, right.
The
sweet.
American Netflix got Max. I don't know if you guys are on the American And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
you use Max and it kind of helps you with that. So is it a similar thing to that, is it?
Well, basically, it's an app that you download and it picks your TV or movie show for you. And it's kind of like the recommendations on Netflix. I don't know whether you guys actually use the recommendations where you put like a star rating and then it says,
right.
based on you watched this and you like
Yeah,
this.
I
and
know what you mean, yeah.
It's something similar. Similar? Something similar. It says you let the app choose from virtually all of Netflix's offerings, or you can narrow it down by genre. You can also specify if you want a movie, TV show, or both.
That's
or
good.
That's a cool idea, yeah.
But do you not think it'll be kind of counterintuitive? Because the article here says, but beware, if you don't like the suggestion, you can spin again. So I think...
Oh, you're just going to be spinning.
yeah, exactly. It'll be download the app and you'll go, right, okay, I like...
Yeah, we'd be annoyed if it forced you to watch something, wouldn't you?
yeah, if you literally went, right, I like action movies and I like, I don't know, a bit of gore or whatever, and then it picks a movie that you really, really hate. You're like,
And then you can't change, like, no, you're watching this, and if you like it or not. I've seen it before, don't care.
But I think you might get stuck in the hamster wheel of that kind of thing going, right, next, I don't want to watch this crap. Oh, next, I'm watching that. Oh, fuck. Wolf Creek, fuck that, I'm watching that shit. But anyway,
so back to my question to you guys. What are the go-to movies? What are the movies that you, no matter what sort, you can't find something to watch?
I mean, we've mentioned go-to movies
yeah,
What is it
briefly
that
before, but...
you'd put on?
should have been listening, Charlie. We mentioned this a couple of podcasts ago.
Although Amy, you and Amy weren't
But
there,
yeah,
so you
we've got a couple of new
I know what
people in the
Amy's
room.
would be, I think, but...
Do you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
You'd have The Descent,
Yeah.
Thingy, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Thingy. I've never seen Thingy. Is it good?
It's awesome.
Or,
Sequel
Definitely
to
those
the thing.
two.
or Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking, you know, you were saying you could take a CD in for the birth.
Yeah.
Would you want that when the baby comes out? So he goes, na 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 na.
Really tempting.
I thought you were going to say like a CD, like play the DVD as it's coming out, and then the baby comes out.
The baby comes out, you make him watch a film straight away.
Boy, your first movie is Jurassic Park.
Grotesque.
Look at that. That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I think that's the
That's
film.
still scarred me, I hope you know. All these
Really?
years
I
later.
brought that into work, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because
I still have nightmares.
no plot as such. It's just a bloke kidnaps a guy and a woman.
It's the scene with the intestine and the scissors.
Oh yeah. It is just. It's almost as if the Japanese have seen like Hostel and stuff and gone, "That's not how you make a torture movie. This is how you make a torture
That's what
movie."
you do, you...
I've
And it is-
witnessed so much in my life. I just at work at the sofas and I was just sat there curled up in a ball. Like,
He done something with the bloke's balls, didn't he? Did he nail his scrotum or nail his testicles down or
I'm
something?
trying to block it out. It's not bring it back.
It was just basically a very thin. Like I've tortured two people. I've got two people, a man and a woman who he thinks are a couple, and he's going to torture them. And his whole reason for doing it is he'll let them go if he feels.
Their balls?
Was it sexually or turned on or
Something-
aroused by their
something
will
like
to
that.
survive? If their will to survive like arouses him or whatever, he'll be like, yeah, okay, you guys are clearly in love. You're really going to do whatever you can to save each other. I'll let you go.
So this is your go-to movie, is it?
No, I don't own it. I don't ever want to see it ever again.
So I think if I remember correctly, one of my like go-to movies was Fight Club, which is how we got onto the discussion of Mark watching
okay,
Fight Club.
alright.
So
Hating it.
mine was like Fight Club. I really like Social Network. I watched that a couple of times. There's a few other ones. A few additions that I remembered. Something like Superbad. I can watch that loads and just laugh at it every time,
that is good.
and just think that's really, really
That's what we
good.
was talking about. That we had like go-to ones at work. I think was the only ones we watched repeated times was Superbad, Planet Terror, and Clerks 2.
Yeah.
The only things that I brought in more than once.
No, I like Planet Terror.
Yeah, that's a great
Clerks
film.
too.
Clerks 2 was don't know what we're going to watch. Fuck it, I'll bring Clerks 2 in.
Yeah. So enlighten us. I'm guessing as you erase the topic, Chuddy, you've got a couple of go-to movies.
Yeah, mine being Event Horizon seems to be
Yeah,
one that
that's a good
I
film.
put on.
So that's
Quite a
something
lot.
that pops up on Netflix, and it's in one of those like side-scrolling things, and it says you watch so and so maybe watch this, and I'm like, don't look that good. But I only look at the poster.
Ignore the fact it's done by the guy who done the terrible Resident Evil films,
Right.
because it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good.
that and the second Lord of the Rings film. So Two
The
Towers.
second one?
That's
Oh,
another
right.
one that I tend to. If I had to pick out of the three, I'd always go to
Oh,
the
right,
second
okay.
one. Yeah. Not sure why.
Yeah,
I
one
don't
of
know.
the
I
first
can
ones.
tell you
It's like
why.
the Star Wars thing. I guess I always preferred Empire to the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you'd go to the middle movie rather than like the first one to kind of set up the story.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's the middle movie and it's kind of done in sort of beginning, middle, and end, the middle part is normally the most exciting part, isn't it? The start's just like them kind of walking around for ages, and I guess the end is them sort of. I don't watch Lord of the Rings.
ring in the volcano.
Oh no, I was going to do Star Wars, and then that's all right. I was going to do a spoiler for Star Wars. Oh, it's his dad. Jeez.
Oh no! Really? I haven't seen Star Wars. I wouldn't have known.
35 years later.
We can watch the new ones when they do it.
I've got a segue. Star Wars. The new movie is being directed by J.J. Abrams. I recently
It's the
watched.
lens flare himself.
I recently watched Super 8.
Great
Have
film.
any of you guys watched it?
great film.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
We did talk about that Mark once, didn't we?
Yeah.
It didn't ring.
I enjoyed it.
bells
I
for
enjoyed
me.
it.
No.
I enjoyed
It was
it.
a bit flatlined. It was okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
I'm with Joe. I actually really enjoyed it.
I
It
enjoyed
was. Yeah, it's full of lens flare, but I think that's his niche. I think that's his thing. And I think if you watched a J.J. Abrams movie without lens flare, you go, oh, where's the bloody lens flare
That's
then?
what he's famous for.
I quite like lens flare. I think they're stylistically quite
Sometimes.
good.
There's
But
the odd
yeah, they can
moment
be
when-
overused.
If it was in Lord of the Rings, I just wouldn't fit
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but like his movies are very sort of sci-fi
Spacey,
based,
yeah.
spacey, kind of sets that sort of vibe.
But it's still the odd thing you're thinking, there shouldn't be any in this situation, there's still shitloads of it.
Yeah.
Can't see
Where's
what's
the bloody
fucking
light
going on.
coming from?
It's blinded
complete
in
dark-
space.
Yeah. We're underground. Where's the light coming from? But anyway, yeah. If you guys, I guess we're split down the middle right now. We've got Chud, no. Mark, no. Me and Joe are kind of yes.
And Amy, you were kind of like...
I
And you were
can't
sort of
hardly
in the middle.
remember it, to be honest with
Well,
you.
that,
It
there you
didn't
go.
really
That's,
Yeah.
that's how good it was.
register.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of watched it and I didn't really know what it was about. I knew that they had a Super 8 camera and there were kids that filmed a movie and they happened to see some
So
sort
it
of
happens,
massive
yeah,
thing.
so it happens,
I
yeah.
didn't know what it was. I knew it was some sort of like crash or explosion. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was like a meteor that
Wasn't
come
it a
down.
train, was it?
Yeah, basically there's this scientist who crashes his car into a train and I thought that whole scene was great. It just looked really, really
good
cool.
shot,
Yeah, the train crash was done.
Yeah, I
well,
thought the train
remember.
crash looked really, really cool. It kind of gave that sense of like just unnervingness. I thought it would have been an even crazier movie. It had more impact if one of the kids had died, but that's kind of harsh, isn't it? It's like you can't just go and kill a kid, can you?
I might have remembered it then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, imagine if a kid got squished by a train, but then probably the rest of the movie would have been like, it's a bit shit. You know, little Jimmy got squished by a train. You know,
Oh, Jimmy
It's always
again.
little Jimmy.
it's always little Jimmy. It's always little Jimmy.
He's lactose intolerant, got hit by a train full of cheese.
Rolling down a hill that somebody's rolling after.
Someone threw a knob at him.
Somebody knobbed little Jimmy. Then he got hit by a cheese wheel and a train.
Someone threw a knob at him.
Little Jimmy doesn't have any luck, does he? And he got fried by lens flare. But anyway, I liken the movie almost to like Stand By Me, but with a supernatural element, which I quite liked. It's sort of like, I'm not massive on child actors. I know you're not big on child actors, Mark.
Well, yeah, but I really like Stand By Me. I thought
Yeah.
it was an excellent
Great
film.
film.
Yeah.
And I thought like there's these kids there, they want to do their own thing, they want to go on an adventure, and they want to make a movie. And I thought that's really cool. You don't ever hear of kids going out and wanting to make movies, and I kind of like thought this is really cool because people making movies is a cool
I
thing.
just don't think they kind of they were trying to do like an ET-esque 80s.
Well, Spielberg did produce it, didn't he?
They tried to do like an 80s kids
Yeah.
film feel to it, and I don't think it really managed it quite as well.
That's fair enough.
There was some of that sort of charm that you need just wasn't there for me.
I really liked it. I thought the kids had a good
quite
dynamic. There was almost like it had kind of everything in there that I would want. There was a bit of sort of sap and sop between like the girl and boy,
Yeah.
and then there's a bit of action, you know, with the train crash, and there's a bit of intrigue. Like you didn't get to see, like, spoiler alert here, guys. Sorry about this. But you didn't get to see like the monster till sort of quite far in.
See, I can't remember what it looked like.
Basically, looked like
What
a
it was
massive
doing.
like sort of tarantula type thing.
Then it looked like a small version of the Cloverfield creature or something.
Yeah, essentially,
Yeah, that's how I remember.
Yeah. And yeah, there was a whole sort of thing about you trying to figure out what the Air Force are trying to do, what these little cubes were. I thought that was really, really cool.
Oh, did he have something that flew off and made a hole?
Well, basically,
Something?
when the train crashed, the kids go to investigate, don't
They find
they?
a thing.
And there's like a million of these like white sort of Rubik's cube type things, and the kid takes it, don't he? And then when they're trying to figure out what's going on, when the town. Yeah, it was a
of
wheel
cheese.
of cheese.
Cubes of cheese.
When the town goes into evacuation and they sneak away and they go into the school and they watch the videos and they see part of the alien ship like crumbles into all these like blocks. I thought that was awesome, but obviously you guys haven't watched it, or you probably weren't interested as you were watching it. But
No, I'd forgotten all about that. All I remember was there's a train crash and an alien.
Yeah, that's my recollection.
I think that was sort of mainly from the trailer anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
so-
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. It probably weren't, like you said, it probably weren't as extreme for you guys, so you didn't remember it. It's kind of like one of them things. They're probably making it very
Not just
Hollywoodized.
It didn't have to be extreme. It just didn't. Like I said, really like Stand By Me. That's not an extreme film.
No.
But,
It's quite slow at start as well, really.
Yeah.
but it straight away had that dynamic. I think was for me that one was just like whatever. I probably will check it out again just to give it another.
Yeah,
sorry,
I really liked it.
I do fear what he's going to do with the Star Wars films, but then the prequel films weren't cracking.
He can't
so
do worse than that, surely.
As somebody completely impartial, having not seen any of the prequels, any of the originals, probably going to get shit for this, but I have faith in J.J. Abrams. I think he's a good storyteller. I think he's quite a good director, and apparently he's going to go in a direction of practical over CGI, which I think is really good. Although the cast was announced that he's got Andy Serkis in, so he's probably going to be playing some sort of like little creature CGI. And
Hopefully, it
stuff
would be
like
nice if he's letting him do something different, be himself, and
but
and he's got a lot of the original.
he's going to have a
cast
leash
back
on
in
him though, because George Lucas has taken.
I think George Lucas has sold to Disney, isn't he? So J.J. Abrams is going to have to answer to Disney rather than George Lucas.
I'm your boss now, motherfucker!
Put my Mickey in there.
You listen to me, bitch, and make the movie how I tell you.
Let's
I should read the Danny Dyer quote about Mickey Mouse voice. Those fucking ducks are pricks.
fucking hacking ducks.
Cheese rolling. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I'll do one quick thing then, because I think we're running out of time, because you were saying he's going to go practical over CGI.
Yes.
Something had a lot of CGI. Amy, you were looking up stuff earlier, weren't you, for future releases, and one of them was Avatar 2.
Right.
Now, it's been, was it 2006, I think we said, the first one, but now it looks like he's going to do, was it?
What, Avatar 1?
Yeah,
that was
the
like
first one.
2008, 2009, I think.
Was it? I thought,
Yeah.
Not long ago. No.
It's going to be like something like 2015 or 16?
16.
2016,
Avatar
and then
2.
17 and 18, he's doing 3 all in a row, one year after the other.
That's a trend now, isn't it?
But this is the thing, because it was so much CGI in that film, and now, because it's James Cameron, and he seems to be a bit of an egotistical prick in my eyes, he's only made 3 films I like, both Terminators and The Abyss, but now, for the second one, apparently, the rumour is, he wants to film a section 7 miles below the sea level at the lowest point of the Mariana Trench. What's the fucking point in that? Just to say, I've done it.
I think that's quite cool.
I think it's retarded.
If it fits in the story, I'm all for
But
it.
you can
If
just
it's
have
completely
a fucking
bizarre.
water
then-
tank
Yeah, but
and darken it.
It's going to cost a lot of money.
Is it going to matter if he filmed it in a water tank or at the bottom of the Mariana Trench in real life?
yeah, but you could
The
just
whole point of a movie is to make a fake thing so that you believe it's this real thing.
yeah, but you could have just said,
That'd be like if they really filmed Gravity in space.
yeah, or you could have said Lord of the Rings. They could have gone to just a sound studio and they did a lot of sound studio work in it, but they got the rolling hills of New Zealand and all these crazy
Yeah, but
mountains.
the director
and
is
stuff
from New Zealand. It kind of.
I know, but
James Cameron isn't really Aquaman.
maybe he is.
They did build loads of models and stuff.
yeah, but it's just. I don't know. I think it's
I'm
going too much.
all for it. I think that's kind of cool.
I've never seen the first one.
This next one is
You're
like,
not
I'm going to
missing
go
anything.
to the Earth's core. Just like, really, you can't fake it? The whole point of movies is just to fake things, not.
Yeah, but is it though?
Yeah.
It's to tell a good story, and if it fits in the
Yeah,
story,
but-
that's what I think it is about.
Yeah, to tell a good story, but you can. How much is that going to cost him?
Yeah.
If
that's
he's
what I'm
putting up
saying.
the money.
Like we
It's
said,
expensive,
Father's
isn't it?
Day, 10,000 grand. The first Avatar, 200.
1,000 grand.
10,000.
Sorry,
Jesus.
$10,000, and Avatar was like 250 million or something.
Yeah, but it made like $2 billion in the box office.
And it
He's
was
made
shit.
it back.
It was shit though.
in your
Looks
opinion.
nice, sounds nice. Have you watched? You liked it, didn't you?
Well,
What's this?
basically, I watched it in the cinema in 3D, and I was like right at the
this?
front.
It's
Yeah.
not original. at
It's
all,
another
is it?
review for another time.
Unobtainium. What fucking hell? Original. Unobtainium. For can't fucking find
People
him.
said it's. People said it's
Dumb.
dances. It takes off dances with wolves or something.
Pocahontas.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should have just spent more money on writing it. Less on CGI, really.
Buy more pen.
I just think that's a bit redundant to be like. I think he's to me the only reason he's doing it is just so he can say that he's done it.
It's massaging his own ego.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way you push things forward. That's the way you get interest in filmmaking. You know, you've got to push things forward. Like the first person to like use CGI and stuff, they probably like, what's the fucking point when you can go out and just make a lightsaber? Why are you using CGI?
Make a lightsaber.
Well,
Yeah, but when he done the first Terminator film, right at the end when it's getting crushed in the hydraulic press and you see like the eye popping,
yeah,
Stan Winston done that effect. It's like an LED and some tin foil.
yeah.
Not the bottom of the fucking ocean. You know, it's a bit like you should be able to find a way to get that and use something else to make it as convincing as possible. I'd be more impressed if he made it out of cardboard rolls and it looked like the bottom of the ocean.
Peter Jackson prefers practical overseas,
Yeah.
even though he did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but there was a lot of practical in it as
Yeah.
well.
Did James Cameron make
Right,
Titanic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I hated.
What? You didn't like Titanic?
One good
I
bit.
can't imagine why you
I
wouldn't
know
like
what you're saying. The
Titanic.
good bit is
No, not the boobs.
no
The guy
hits
falling.
the propeller.
Yeah, the guy falling off the back and hitting the propeller.
I was
That's
just pissed
spinning.
off at the end that it sank because I was annoyed.
Oh, Joe.
Unexpected spoiler.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the boat sinks.
When I watch it at the cinema and somebody told me beforehand,
Yeah, I was like,
boat sinks. Fucking hell.
No, I didn't like that.
Right, we've got a flashing battery, so it's probably going to go out imminently. So
Are
I
we
think we
setting
should
any
probably.
quick homework or not going to worry this week?
It's completely up to you. We've talked about quite a lot of things. If I were to set any homework for anyone, I'm going to recommend. What have we talked about? Watch any movie with Danny Dyer in, Mark.
Severance.
One's what you
Just
mentioned.
No. I'm not being serious
Thank
anyway.
you. Yeah, Severance was good.
I like it.
Doghouse.
I
Chud,
forgot about Doug.
watch Attack on Titan,
Okay, I was actually looking at that earlier
Yeah.
on in the week. I found it on Netflix. but I
and
haven't
I'll
got it.
watch Death Note.
Death Note? Okay, yeah.
That's for me.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure how many episodes that is.
Well, I'll watch
Yeah.
a couple.
Yeah,
I'll give you a mini review.
Yeah.
Joe
It'd be
should
pleased to know
attend
it's,
the
in,
cheese roll.
it's an English dub as well.
Yeah.
And the English dub is fine on that.
I'll go
It's not
cheese
bad dub.
rolling next week.
Yeah, Joe, you got to
Roll
go
away with
cheese
cheese.
rolling.
in the Fenlands.
Yeah, we don't have to. It's just gonna roll it along.
Build pedals to your cheese.
If I have time,
Build a
'cause
perpetual motion
I've got
cheese.
more gigs later in the week.
Right.
If I have time, I'll watch Avatar. I've never seen it.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
yeah,
yeah.
good choice,
alright.
good
Yeah,
choice.
that's my homework.
You should do that, Amy.
It's quite long.
You've never seen it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
No, you told me how
I
long
think a better
Avatar
way to
is.
waste
It's
them.
not
Oh yeah,
long.
nearly 3 hours of
I'll watch it. I can break it up if I get bored.
just me then.
Fucking have to.
What about you, Mark?
Mark,
Yeah, what else have we thought about? Or just pluck something random out of the air. I don't mind.
Well, it's
Well-
always nice to kind of something we've mentioned.
I thought he was going to say it's always nice to
I was
annoy
going to
you.
say, I can
How about episode 1 of Fargo?
Okay, yeah, all right then, because I'm old and my memories fuzzy.
I can't remember what that
I'll
was.
tell you what, and Amy, you can watch it with me,
Thanks.
and then I will relay your criticisms or praise.
Right.
So we read it up.
Yeah, so before we do our goodbyes, I just want to say thanks to Chud again for turning up
Yeah.
and helping us out with the podcast, and of
No
course
problem.
our special guest Amy.
Hey.
Thanks
no
for
longer a
enduring.
special guest.
No, you're just one of the old guys.
Thanks for allowing me to have my Nerds Round podcast, honey.
I'm not
Thank
going
you.
into labour. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for not having a baby
I'm
during
a bit
the podcast.
disappointed, to be fair. It would have been nice to
It would have
have a live.
world first in podcast.
I think it would have. So, unless you want to meet up again tomorrow and podcast and see if it happens
We're in
again.
the hospital.
You make a little video, Mark.
Yeah.
Little-
Hello, welcome to ChapterSkip. I'm Mark. I'm Amy. And I'm Doctor.
Mark, you can review it. Hello, welcome to ChapterSkip.
Yeah. Well, I'll give this baby a 6 out of 10.
Too much gore. Didn't like it.
I quite like the gore element, but
The story was just shit. No story to
no
it.
story. The kid can't act.
Just kept crying. Just kept bloody crying.
You are getting yourself in trouble here. You
It
know?
just like small, wrinkly, looked a bit like Gollum.
Like you looking in a mirror.
Well, just, well, exactly. Just hope it don't come out looking like you with the beard. And everything.
Hey.
It'll be bald, bearded, and grumpy.
And on next week's ChapterSkip podcast, we'll give you guys an update on the new arrival to the
Yeah.
ChapterSkip team, Mark Jr.
Mark
or
Jr.
Godzilla, as I want to call it. But I have no say in that, obviously. Like I'm disappointed about that. Like I thought I had a chance of naming your baby Godzilla.
Godzilla Green.
I don't think I'll trust you at that.
That's got a nice ring to it.
GG.
Yeah, and as always, thanks for listening. Check out the ChapterSkip podcast channel and subscribe. Subscribe to the main ChapterSkip channel. Like us on Facebook. follow us on Twitter, and as always, on behalf of ChapterSkip, I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
I'm Amy.
And I'm still Mark.
We'll catch you guys next time.